A pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to YurView tonight as we get ready to bring you the Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. It's a good matchup. It'll be the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets and the Tuttle Tigers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Steve Marshall. Dylan Rivera is alongside what promises to be a great ball game tonight. This really is still week one, even though there were some teams that did play last week in what is labeled as the 0-week games. But we think we've got a good one here for you tonight, as well as a great schedule all season long. Tuttle and Kingfisher, our matchup for this evening. As you look at the rankings for these two teams here going into this game here, Kingfisher has not played a game yet. Tuttle did win their opener this year earlier in a big convincing victory over Newcastle. Kingfisher comes in ranked number 6 in Class 3A, while Tuttle is ranked number 4 in Class 4A. Looks to be a great matchup, Dylan. Yeah,
their last 10 outings, they've actually split it right down the middle, 5-5. And so this one is definitely bound to be interesting as well. 5 of those 10 games have been decided by less than 10 points. So it's definitely going to be something you want to tune into, and it could come down to the wire, just like we've seen in the years past.
It's been a great matchup, as he mentioned, throughout the years coming up to this season. And again, these are two teams that are expected to do quite well in their respective districts. As we look at the prognostications from some of the writers from across the state, in Class 3A, you look at Kingfisher right now, ranked number 6. They're picked 3rd in their district, and you think, my goodness, they're ranked number 6. How could they be picked 3rd in their district? Well, it's pretty easy when the number 1 team in your district is Heritage Hall, defending state champion, and the number 2 team in your district is John Marshall. So that says a lot about the power of the district that Kingfisher resides in. And as we said, Newcastle or Tuttle won their game over Newcastle in week 1 by a final score of 41-7. We've got a lot of stats to bring you, a lot of pregame information. Of course, we'll be keeping you updated from scores across the state on games that are being played and in action, and also some of the games that were played last night as well. And we'll continue to bring you all that right here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. It's game time, and it's on YurView. We'll be right back.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event, and now is the best time to buy.
You ready for this, Junior?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
No pressure. That's just my favorite boat.
Boom.
Make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, find great offers across a huge lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $3,250 cash back on F-150 at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of getting pressured into a replacement.
It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your old air conditioner is worth fixing.
So call Airco for a second opinion.
Call Airco Service today.
The company you know.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Weoki 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Weoki and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Weoki for details.
Welcome back, everybody, to your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. There you can see the goings on the field right now. And it looks as though Kingfisher is going to receive the opening kick. Looks like Tuttle won that toss, and they deferred. And so that's the way that we will have it here for you this evening. When we look at these two teams, we look at some of the records from the last year or so. Kingfisher 9-3 last year. They are 50-15 in their last 5 years. They won the state championship back in 2003 and also won it again in 2013. They've had a very good run throughout the tenure of head coach Jeff Myers, and expect to have another good season this year. And for the Tuttle Tigers, of course, their head coach is Brad Bellard, and they have been winning as well, state championships in 2001 and 2005. Looks like there's going to be a great crowd on hand. Everybody's excited for the opener in Tuttle this evening against Kingfisher.
Yeah, kind of going back to the success that these two teams have had. Tuttle in 2017 went 7-4. and the 2 seasons before that, only 1 loss on their record. And then for Kingfisher, 9-3 last year, 11-2 in 2016, and then they kind of had this weird out-of-body experience where they went 4-7 in 2015, and then 11-3 in 2014 and 15-0 in 2013. So you can see just over the last 5 years for both of these teams, winning records all over the place. I mean, it's just been constant success for both teams. And actually, I think Tuttle has 23 straight seasons with winning records. So we'll see if they can continue on that success, and see if maybe Kingfisher can try to add a loss to their column, and hopefully they can tackle that record there.
All right, should be a great matchup here this evening between Kingfisher and Tuttle. The man's on the field. They've already had the coin flip for the kickoff be coming up, and we'll take another timeout. Get ready. When we come back, we'll set the lineups for you and get ready to kick it off. Kingfisher and Tuttle coming up next here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
You may have heard of Tulsa Tech, but did you know we offer business and industry training for large and small companies? Come get trained and certified in areas like confined space, HAZWOPER, crane rigging, CPR, first responder, and more. To learn more about our affordable and customized training and how Tulsa Tech can be a valuable resource to your company, call 918-828-5000 or visit us online at tulsatech.edu.
And welcome back once again, everybody. Steve Marshall, Dylan Rivera, Mark Jeffries, our executive producer for this evening. Tuttle Tigers lining up in their home reds or maroon jerseys, getting ready to kick it away to the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets in their road whites with the navy trim and the gold helmets. And if they were still playing in the same class, you would not be surprised to see these two teams meeting deep in the playoffs. But I talked earlier this week with head coach Jeff Myers of Kingfisher, and he noted, as everyone around here knows, that Tri-City area is really booming and growing, and thus Tuttle has moved up to Class 4A. Here's the kick return. Kingfisher going to take it out to close to the 30-yard line, and that's how we begin this game here this evening. As we look at it, Dylan, before the guys come on, what do you think are some of the keys to victory tonight for both these clubs?
Well, I think both teams offensively love to air the ball out. They love to let that ball fly. So it's really going to come down to the secondaries that are going to have to make stops today to see who's going to win this game, because as we saw last week from Tuttle, Berryhill went 16 of 18, 306 yards for 3 touchdowns. I mean, that was an incredible night for him. And then last year, Sternberger for Kingfisher, he's had an outstanding season as well, or last year he did. And in his career, he's thrown for 2,500 passing yards and 36 touchdowns. So both teams definitely love to pass the ball. So it's going to come down to those secondaries, those corners, those safeties, and just see how well they can stop the ball from being moved down the field.
The quarterback is Jet Sternberger. You saw the first pass incomplete, trying to hook up with the wide receiver. Second play is a running play to the left, and a great play defensively. Looked like he had some running room out there, but coming up and making the stop, and no gain on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 situation.
So we'll probably reference Tuttle's last game quite a bit because they played in week 0, as we call it.
Right.
But Kingfisher didn't, so this is game 1 for them. So this may be kind of getting out of the blocks kind of game for them.
So it's going to bring up 4th down, as unable to get much going in this opening drive. Very quick offense, trying to get the plays off in a big hurry. Looking at a 4th down situation. Really did not gain a yard on that opening possession. A lot of shifting, moving around on offense, now dropping deeper to punt. Snap back. Kick is away in good fashion. It's going to be a short kick. And taking it about the 46, 47-yard line. So good field position for the Tuttle Tigers to open things up. And as Dylan mentioned, Carson Berryhill coming out to run the offense for the Tuttle Tigers.
Yeah, Carson Berryhill, obviously, like I mentioned, last game threw a great game. And I think his two big targets he's going to have this year are Perryman and Stokes. Stokes last week caught 6 passes for 133 yards and 1 touchdown. And last year, Perryman 30 catches for 489 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Kind of a jet sweep looking play as they handed off there to number 23, I believe it was Parker Rose on the carry. He's going to lose 2 yards. So the first couple of plays from scrimmage, the defense has the best of it as neither team, 3 plays for Kingfisher, 1 for Tuttle, able to pick up any yardage to this point. Make it 2nd down and 12 from their own 46-yard line. Shotgun formation. Straight ahead give, gets back to the original line of scrimmage and then maybe a yard further. So he's going to get it out to the 49-yard line. That's still going to set up about a 3rd and 9. 3rd and 10-yard line, as you can see the Taco Mayo in the distance.
That's what I was looking at. I guess right after the game, you know where everybody's headed.
That's right.
49-yard line, it'll be 3rd down.
All right, so 3rd and 9 at their own 49-yard line. Berryhill checks the defense. Dropping to throw. Here comes the blitz up the middle, delayed blitz. Waits for his running back to come out of the backfield. Had he caught it, he was going to be near 1st down yardage, but looked as though he tried to run with it before he actually had it in his grasp. The pass falls incomplete, and that'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Tigers.
It was a great bull rush blitz from Trey Green on Kingfisher there. I mean, it looked like he just blew straight through an opening in the offensive line. Was able to get to Berryhill there and make it tough for him to get that throw off. You think maybe if he had a little bit more time to set up and let that go, that could have been a completed pass.
The punt is away, taking it about the 15-yard line. Yellow Jackets coming to the near side of the field, trying to get that corner knocked off balance, keeps his balance, cuts it back, gets it out across the 35-yard line. Nice return there by number 26 for Kingfisher. That is Colton York. York, a wide receiver, defensive back, will set them up with their 2nd possession at their own 37-yard line.
Yet to see a 1st down so far. We'll see if maybe these defenses can hold up like this, and we'll just have a defensive game and maybe scores like 3-0.
So 1st and 10. Quarterback is again Jet Sternberger. Play action pass, wants to throw over the middle and a little too tall. Not really sure who that was intended for. There were 3 Tigers in the area. Zach Goodwin looked as though he was the intended receiver, number 2 on the play, but the pass goes incomplete.
Yeah, I think he was trying to hit Zach Goodwin down there on the sideline, but if you ask me, you got to kind of throw that to that outside shoulder. Keep it away from the defenders because that makes it a little bit more susceptible to an interception when you throw it inside.
Next play, running play. That's going to go off the left tackle. That's going to get about 3 yards, get him to the 40, maybe pass that out to the 41-yard line. So pick up on the play of about 4, and that'll set up 3rd and 6 for Kingfisher. We mentioned the quarterback, Jet Sternberger, his older brother, playing for Texas A&M as their tight end, caught 2 touchdown passes in their victory last night. Tuttle shows blitz. Here it comes up the middle. Sternberger has to roll out of the pocket, throws, good pass on the money, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down. Complete out here to Colton York inside Tuttle territory. They're going to spot it at the 46-yard line.
Good catch by Colton York on the sideline there. I don't know how close he actually was to the line, but from our angle, it looked like he was almost right on it, so a good catch from him.
First down of the contest. This time Sternberger rolling left, looking downfield. Now he's going to keep it. And he takes it out of bounds. Looks like he got really upended. Surprised there's no flag down. He kind of relaxed and then got turned upside down on the play. They're going to give him about 1.5 yards, 2 yards on the carry.
I'm not really sure what he was doing there. It looked like he was wanting to run out of bounds, but he was like, you know what, no, I'm going to try for another yard. But there's 2 massive men right there, and he just says, you know what, I'll just run right into him real soft. That's what I'll do.
That's kind of funny looking play.
Yeah.
All right, so 2nd down and 7. Sternberger, quick comeback. Complete. Good timing there as he gets the pass in there to number 1. That's Trey Green. You mentioned him just a bit ago. 814 yards, 11 touchdowns last year. That's going to be enough for a second first down on this drive for Kingfisher. Now with the ball at the Tuttle 32. Quick out once again. Green makes a nice move. Cuts back towards the middle, and then the defense arrives, but he's still going to get about 6 on the first down reception.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have a lot of Sternberger to Green today, as you've already seen twice in the last 2 plays. I mean, it's just going to happen today. That connection is there. Those 2 know each other well, and just practicing those routes day in and day out, they know where to find each other.
The give up the middle as the handoff goes to Cole Crosswhite. He gets a couple of yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and a little more than 2 yards. They need to get inside the 23-yard line to keep the drive alive, although they may be in 4-down territory. Just about 7:40 left to go here in this first quarter of play. Quick moving first quarter. Sternberger looking to throw.
Oh, that would have been a good catch if he had caught that.
Just beyond the outstretched fingers there. Intended for Trey Green, who looked like he faked the post towards the middle. The defensive back bit on it, and then he took it out towards the corner, and Sternberger just a little too far out in front.
It wasn't a terrible throw. I mean, maybe just a yard off.
Yeah.
He just takes a little bit off of that. That's a touchdown pass right there.
4th down and 3. Sternberger going to keep it, goes to the line of scrimmage, and he's not going to get it. Tigers make a nice defensive stand. On 4th down, deep inside their own territory, the Tigers will take over.
But we saw there, you know, the offense can move up and down the field pretty quickly with those quick slants, quick out routes, a lot of passing, we'll say, not a lot of running. They've, as you saw right there on that last play, tried to run it up the middle as the quarterback and just stuffed. So it goes back to those air raid that we're talking about, the air raids that both Tuttle and Kingfisher are going to bring to the table. And we'll just see who can outduel each other, basically.
Line of scrimmage is their own 25-yard line for the Tigers. 7.5 minutes left to go here in this scoreless first quarter. Here comes a blitz off the edge. Berryhill with the throw. Pass is caught. Makes 1 tackler miss, but is brought down later in the secondary. It's going to be about a 3-yard gain on the play. A lot of short passes for both these teams here. We're seeing a lot of blitzing going on here too, Dylan.
Yeah, and I think that's, as I said, mentioning about the air raids, I think they're just trying to bust through that offensive line and get pressure on the quarterback, because the quicker the pressure, the quicker he's got to make that throw and make a read. So we're just going to keep blitzing him, trying to get him out of his comfort zone. That one, he was off balance, scrambling out left, and let it go with his right hand, so a little bit off balance with the throw.
Running play this time off the left side, handed to number 28, Tristan Truelove. He gets it out across the 30-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 3. Still no score. About halfway through this first quarter of play from Tuttle, Oklahoma. Berryhill looks over the defense, puts his man in motion, drops and then bootlegs out left, and it's intercepted. Kingfisher may take it in for the touchdown, and it's going to get into the end zone. Touchdown Kingfisher, number 51. Riley Myers read that one all the way.
That's a pick 6, and we always love the big boy touchdowns. 51, excuse me, with the touchdown. I mean, that was an awesome play and an awesome pressure in the backfield. Like I said, just trying to make him make quick throws. He made it off balance, wasn't able to read the defense very well. Ends up getting into the hands of 51. I'm blanking on his name.
Riley Myers.
Riley Myers, yes. And able to take that back to the house. And a great block as well. I don't know if we can see it right here. And then just boom, gets him off the tail. And he's just got to beat the quarterback.
So the coach's son gets the Oski pick six. The extra point is good. And with 6:09 left to go here in the first quarter, the Tuttle Tigers, or rather the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets, draw first blood as they get the touchdown on the defense. Riley Myers takes it in for the score. 7-0 Kingfisher. We'll take a timeout on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week and come back with the kickoff.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event, and now is the best time to buy.
You ready for this, Junior?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
No pressure. That's just my favorite boat.
Boom.
Make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, find great offers across a huge lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now get 0% financing for 60 months plus $3,250 cash back on F-150 at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Well, Kingfisher strikes first as they get the defensive touchdown on the pick six by Riley Myers. As he read that perfectly, they faked the jet sweep to the near side of the field. Barry Hill booted out to the right. Dare I say, if he does get that pass over the defender's head, that's probably going to take off for some pretty good yardage. As it is, he kept it too low. Myers picked it off and then ran it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, there was the underthrown part of it, and then to me, the reason the pressure was able to get there, so, we got a good run back here. Yeah, back to the 45. That's number 80 for Tuttle, Kobe Trevino. But yeah, I mean, I think obviously there was the problem of the underthrown ball, but the pressure wouldn't have gotten there so quickly and made him, kind of scramble out and make such a tough pass. If he had swept around a little quicker, it seemed like he was, kind of slowly coming around that corner and turning a little slow, and then ended up with defense right in his face.
So let's see how Tuttle is able to answer back now with a 1st and 10 is still instead. Nice return all the way out to their own 45-yard line. Barry Hill dropping to throw, steps up in the pocket, spins away from one tackle, and just does get back to the line of scrimmage. And once again, Kingfisher very aggressive with a lot of blitzes.
Let's see, that one actually, only 4 men came into the pocket. Only 4 men bringing pressure onto the quarterback, and the linebackers looked like they were almost just doing a QB read and just kind of sat there and waited to see what would happen, and able to make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage.
Coach Myers said that defensively they're good tacklers and they get to the ball in good fashion. So far we're seeing that. Barry Hill this time, quick pass to the outside is complete as he's able to find number 12, Mason Stokes there. Stokes is going to get it out to the 49-yard line. Still only a gain of 4 yards on the play.
Still haven't had like a big play yet. I'd say the longest game maybe was like a 13, 14-yarder. Still haven't seen that big play yet.
Kind of a 3-4 setup. Barry Hill looks to throw. Waits for his receiver to clear the area, and then the pass is a little bit too high and incomplete. And that would look to be a punting situation for the Tigers, who having a little problem getting things going offensively here in the early going.
I got to wonder, maybe if he hadn't hesitated and waited a second longer to get his running back a couple more yards, if he had just given it to him and let him run open with the grass in front of him, could he have made a move and then gotten further up the field? We'll never know.
Looks like they're trying to draw them off sides. It is 4th down and about 6. They didn't get them to jump, so they're going to take a timeout. Think about it again, and then more than likely come back and punt the football. We're going to punt right now and send it to a commercial break, and we'll be right back with more on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. Kingfisher on top. They lead at 7-0.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Weoki 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Weoki and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Weoki for details. So
Tuttle lined up again with a 4th and 6 situation. They're going to go ahead and kick it away. The punt sails back to about the 11-yard line. Yellow Jackets on the return. Loose football pops out. Tigers are saying they have it. Wait for the official call. And it is Tuttle football as they get the big turnover off the kicking game. I'd like to see the replay on that and see exactly who and what caused that fumble. Looked like he was spun around on the initial look that I had, Dylan, and then the ball came loose, and it's going to be Tuttle football. However, hold on. We've got a penalty against Tuttle.
I mean, it was a good punt to begin with. And then putting it down there within the 20-yard line, those first 20 yards, and then losing the ball just about that 20-yard line, and then Tuttle able to on the move, just grab the ball from Kingfisher, and now they're set up in the red zone. They'll set up shop at the 22.
All right, so they changed it. It was against Kingfisher. So the Tigers offense trots back onto the field. Believe the line of scrimmage is going to be right at about the 23-yard line. There you get a good look at the crowd. That is the visitors' side, so folks from Kingfisher making the trip and filling up the stands on the far side of the field. First down for the Tigers. And let's see what they're able to do with it now with a 1st and 10 at the Kingfisher 23-yard line. 4 down linemen. And this time the jet sweep around the corner is going to pick up about 3 yards on the carry there for the Tigers. Number 80, Kobe Trevino once again.
Kobe Trevino's a speedy wide receiver, and they like to use him in those sweep around formations. He runs track, so you know he obviously knows how to turn the jets on, so you might as well run him in the jet sweep.
Makes sense to me. Now the line of scrimmage at about the 18-yard line. Berryhill barks out the signals. Straight ahead this time. And a nice gain up the middle. That's Tristan Truelove once again. As he dove forward. Gets it down to the 11.
Kind of interesting, Tuttle in their last game did a lot of running by committee. A lot of different people ran the football. Truelove got the most carries, and he only ran the ball 5 times.
Yeah, they don't run the hurry-up offense, that's for sure. Truelove again. This time he goes off the left side. Nice tackle at about the 5-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle made there by number 2, Zach Goodwin. But another first down for the Tigers. And now the line of scrimmage at the Kingfisher 5.
Only one man in front of him in the end zone, so that tackle obviously saves him because he got grabbed by the feet from behind.
Like the sideline marker said that it was 2nd down and goal from the 5. So Berryhill takes the snap, handoff, cuts it back against the grain, still on his feet and fighting and getting into the end zone. Great effort there by Truelove. They had him wrapped up at about the 4-yard line, but he would not go down. And the Tigers are just an extra point away from tying up this ball game.
Yeah, and you're taught in practice to keep those feet moving. That's exactly what he did there. Just kept the feet moving, kept them pumping. And you got to think to yourself, I think I can, I think I can. And you punch it in.
Run that stretch play to the left. All the linemen moving and getting Truelove an opportunity to cut back against the grain. Now the extra point is no good. So with a timeout on the field and 3:15 remaining here in this first quarter, Kingfisher leads by just the margin of the extra point. Yellow Jackets 7, Tigers 6. Tuttle to kick off when we return right here on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
Tuttle Tech has really helped me build my future. Woodworking is my passion. I've always wanted to be a carpenter. The carpentry program is a great program to get into. The teacher is fantastic. He teaches us about quality, and no matter what you do, you need to have pride and integrity in your work. The facilities here are state-of-the-art. All the tools here are the best of the best. This class has been a great opportunity for me. It's one of my favorite classes ever. We've had so much fun, the best 3 hours of my day. Tuttle Tech has really helped me make my own path in so many ways.
Very fast-moving, quick quarter. We got plenty of action going on, that's for sure. We've had a pick 6. We've had a fumbled punt return. We've had a pair of touchdowns so far. And there's still 3:15 left to go in this first quarter of play. The Tigers, who just scored but did miss the extra point, set to kick it away to the Yellow Jackets. And Kingfisher on top, leading it by a score of 7-6.
You know, one thing I like is Tuttle's kicker's name is Bryce Leg. Is that not the most appropriate name? That'd be like if your quarterback was named like John Arm.
Strong arm.
Yeah, there you go.
Armstrong. We'll make it up as we go. All right, here's the ensuing kickoff after the Tuttle touchdown. Kick goes all the way back to about the 4-yard line. On the return, nice room up the middle. And again, a good tackle wrapping up and making the tackle for the Tigers. That's number 44, and that is Zane Vasquez. He's a 5'11", 185-pound junior. And the line of scrimmage will be the 22-yard line for the Yellow Jackets as they break the huddle and come out.
So Kingfisher's only touchdown came from the defensive side of the ball, so this will be another test for the offensive side and see if maybe they can get some points on the board.
Sternberger dropping to throw, steps up in the pocket, has plenty of time, and right on the money, complete out to about the 42-yard line.
A great job by Sternberger. He stayed patient in the pocket, moved up so that way he could avoid the defensive end coming around the backside, and then just stepped up and made a great throw to his wideout.
Complete there to Colton York, out to the 41-yard line. Sternberger again, quick pass to the far side, that's complete. Breaks the tackle, and he's got first down yardage and then some, and then he gets cleaned, his clock cleaned as he gets knocked out of bounds.
We got a flag.
And we do have a flag.
Yeah, it was a late hit, and it looked like there was a little bit of a late call, too.
Next, at first, it looked like he was hit maybe right along the boundary line. That's on the far side of the field. You take a look here. Breaks the tackle.
I don't know how he got past all three of those guys.
Personal foul against the Tigers.
Well, see, you can tell he's stumbling out of bounds, and that's what it is. And he may have even been on the line for all I know. But obviously, he wasn't able to actually run forward. So that's definitely going to be a late hit there.
It'll be first down for Kingfisher.
So the drive started at their own 22 after just 2 plays and the penalty added on at the end. Now they're all the way down to the Tuttle 31-yard line. First and 10 for the Yellow Jackets. Single coverage top of your screen. He looks that way and then rolls right. Sternberger going to run it. He keeps it and gets it down to about the 26. He'll get about 5 on the carry.
Sternberger with the keeper taking out.
Yeah, and a good idea just to tuck it and run. I mean, if you don't have a wide receiver downfield, don't force it. Tuck the ball, try to get some yards with your feet.
See the big guys up there up front for Kingfisher. 74 is Padilla. 73 up there is Tanner Thompson. Also on the offensive line, number 51 is Riley Myers. Here's Sternberger looking to throw. Right side complete. He was thrown down a little after the fact, but no penalty flag coming out. Stopped them at the 17-yard line. Kingfisher has been shown that they can definitely move the football and do it in a hurry. 17-yard line, first and 10 for the Jackets. Handoff inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line, a gain of 3. Nice tackle in there for Tuttle, among others. Number 48, that's Dylan Kaufman.
I think that was a good job on both sides of the ball. The offensive line held up for a little bit, had some gaps, but defense was quickly able to fill those gaps, and just a moderate gain.
Kingfisher driving, leading by 1. Sternberger looked left, now rolls out right. Gonna run it, spins near the goal line, gets down to about the 3-yard line. That should be enough for another first down.
5-yard line.
Yeah, it takes 2 men to take him out of bounds there. He just another one of those situations where you just got to keep your feet moving and keep trying to get there and get as close as you can.
So the Yellow Jackets threatening once again. Handoff, this time going to lose a little bit of yardage. Good push by the Tuttle defensive front. Once again, in on the tackle, number 48, Dylan Kaufman, with some help there from McCoven McCoy, sophomore defensive lineman.
Dylan Kaufman had 118 tackles last year and led Tuttle's defense in tackles. So he's definitely somebody that we're probably going to say his name quite a bit tonight.
Sternberger looks to the sideline, gets some final instruction, throws, passes deflected at the line of scrimmage and nearly intercepted.
Yeah, great job. That's number 48 for Tuttle. Dylan Kaufman again getting his hand up, batting that pass down. Just a great defensive player for the Tuttle Tigers.
So that should bring up 3rd and goal from the 5. Kingfisher's quick-moving offense is slowed a bit now as they're making sure that they get the play that they want in. Let's see what they do here. Sternberger, low snap, has to fall on it. That'll cost them a down. And they lose about 3-4 yards on the play. They're going to spot it down at about the 8-yard line.
And that's exactly what you don't want if you're Kingfisher. It just makes it more difficult on you down here with a scoring opportunity. And now it looks like they're going to settle to take 3 points.
So they're going to line it up for what looks to be a field goal. The holder is number 11, Keaton Abercrombie. And the kicker, number 26, is Colton York. 4th and goal from the 8, has a problem with it. Loses it, and he's going to get dropped and taken down on the play. So Kingfisher, who had a 1st and goal from the 2, unable to get anything from it on the scoreboard, and a good stand by the Tuttle Tigers.
Yeah, is that Keaton Abercrombie or is that Tony Romo? I feel like reminiscent of that play where bad snap and just got to do something with it. And he's got to do something. I mean, he doesn't have any options.
Nope, he didn't. And then he gets taken down by 3 of the Tigers. And so Tuttle takes over. They scored in their last possession but missed the extra point. Final 50 seconds left to go in this first quarter. From their own 21-yard line, Berryhill sends a man in motion. Delayed handoff to the running back, makes a nice little skip move, gets to the outside across the 25 to about the 27. Gets 5 or 6 on the carry.
Yeah, nice juke to bounce it out to the weak side like you mentioned. Able to pick up another yard or 2 there just off that one move.
So the Tigers out with really their 4th possession of the ball game. Clock ticking down now, final 15 seconds of this first quarter. Straight handoff off the left side. Nice run, and it's going to be enough for a 1st down, and that'll be, after they set the chains, probably the final play of this first quarter. They'll mark it down at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
One update is Hennessy is up 14-6 on Perkins Tryon. And Hennessy plays Kingfisher next week, so that one kind of factors into this game a little bit.
All right, first quarter comes to a close. Kingfisher has the best of it to this point. They lead by 1, 7-6 our score on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Tuttle. It's your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. Along with Dylan Rivera, Mark Jeffries, I'm Steve Marshall. Happy to bring you high school football on this Friday evening. Some of the games started off with the 0-week contests last week. Of course, you saw Lindsay and Pauls Valley do battle right here on YurView last week as well, and we'll continue to tell you more about our schedule as we go along.
That one was a tight one, too. I mean, if you have some spare time on your hands, go back and watch that one. That was a good game.
Good game there, and then we got to call one on the TV side where Midwest City went to Bentonville, Arkansas, tied the game late, and then won it in overtime in an exciting matchup. And the Tuttle Tigers right now with the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 38-yard line. Berryhill, play action, looking to throw deep, has a receiver that's wide open, complete, breaks the tackle, and he's going to get into the end zone. If there's no flags on the play, that'll be a 62-yard touchdown. Berryhill hooking up on the very first play as he finds number 80, Kobe Trevino.
As I mentioned earlier, Kobe Trevino's a speedy wide receiver, and it's almost like Tyreek Hill where they just run him on a fly route and just say, outrun everybody, and we'll chuck the ball deep to you. That's exactly what happened here. He just beat number 7, that is Clayton Abercrombie, out there in the secondary, just beat him in the foot race. And then it's just, okay, see if you can get that ball all the way down there to him and let him do the rest of the work.
Credit too to Berryhill for really disguising that on the play action. Got to think that the defensive back bit on that. The kick extra point is no good. And the score will stand at Tuttle 12 and Kingfisher 7. We'll take a look at that replay, but first we've got a timeout for you on the very first play of the second quarter. They're able to get the touchdown there and take a 12-7 lead. We'll take a timeout and be right back.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Tuttle once again. One play, and it was time for another timeout as you got to see the 62-yard pass from Carson Berryhill to Kobe Trevino, who got several steps behind the secondary of Kingfisher. Berryhill laid it right in there. Easy catch. He broke the tackle and made it into the end zone, so the Tigers have their first lead of the contest, and they'll kick it away once again to Kingfisher.
Well, so that had to be maybe like, maybe a 60, 70-yard play?
Yeah, 62.
62. And the funny thing is this is game 2, right? And you'd think, wow, 62 yards, that's a long play. That's a good play. That's not even the longest one of his season so far.
Yeah.
He had 81 last week.
16 of 18 last week throwing the football. And obviously, again, as Dylan said, that pass looked like Berryhill was in mid-season form.
Kingfisher has the ball, first down.
So Kingfisher returns the ensuing kickoff out to their own 32-yard line. And their heads have to be spinning a little bit right now after having that 7-0 lead. And Tuttle came back with the 1-2 combination. Tigers on top now 12-7. Sternberger back in at quarterback for the Jackets. Quick pass to the near side is complete. Taking it across the 40-yard line is Trey Green with a nice pickup on the first down play.
Well, one thing about these smaller schools is you see players on both sides of the ball. People who play both a wide receiver and a defensive back, or a quarterback and a safety, or something like that. And so with that in mind, that last play, that's got to be, kind of a demeanor, a bummer. Let's just put it that way. And so then you come back out on offense, and you're expected to make a big play on the next time out.
Sternberger keeps it himself, avoids one tackler, gets the first down, and gets into Tuttle territory down to their 45-yard line. Nice run there by Sternberger.
With the tackle, ball at the Tuttle 45.
Looked like Tuttle was blitzing on that play, so once they got past the quarterback, there was nobody there defensively to kind of shore it up, and he was running one-on-one, and he's got some good running skills himself.
That marker up there is wrong. It's first down, everybody. There, he just changed it.
Sternberger flushed out of the pocket, in trouble. Looking to throw, probably going to throw this one away. They're looking and asking for an intentional grounding. Game I called last night, there was a couple times that, he threw it away, but there was a receiver in the vicinity, and they did call the intentional grounding. Not so in this case, just an incomplete pass, which I believe, from our vantage point, looked to be the correct call.
Yeah, it looked like Trey Green was at least within the general area of that pass. Enough to avoid a call.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Here comes Tuttle once again, playing good assignment football.
That one, I mean, I guess maybe number 26, Colton York. I guess you could argue he was there.
Yep.
He's getting awfully close, though. Looks like the refs are kind of saying, hey, you know, let's keep an eye on this.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Jackets. At the Tuttle 45-yard line. Tuttle again, get everybody up on the line of scrimmage. It's a run play and a good running play as he's going to be just shy. Had to get to the 35-yard line for the first down. He gets to the 36. And I believe that'll be 4th and 1.
Looks like they just moved it back to the 37.
Loss of one in the spot.
Yeah.
So let's see what Kingfisher dials up here. Again, Tuttle shows blitz, handoff right side, and drop for a loss on the play. Good job by the Tuttle defense. Into the tackle, among others, number 44, Zane Vasquez.
Well, and 48, Coughlin was in there as well. And I told you, his name's going to come up quite a bit in conversation. He's a great defensive player.
So they turn it over on downs. And another good stand by the Tuttle defense. So the Tigers get the football back. And they spot it at their own 39-yard line. Carson Berryhill. Quick pass. Looked like that was intended there for Camden Perryman, but it looked like he turned the wrong way.
Yeah, and I think he's got a good wide receiving core, and I think that one just may have been a little bit of a fluke because Perryman and Stokes and Trevino, those three guys, those are awesome wideouts to have to try to throw the ball to.
Like Perryman turned in towards the middle when he was supposed to turn out. 2nd and 10, Berryhill steps up, spins away from one would-be tackler, and is able to fight back but still lose a yard of the play, and a good job defensively by Kingfisher. That's Cade Stevenson, number 18.
He only gets back to the line of scrimmage, so we're still looking at 10 yards to go. And this is kind of odd because last week, as I keep referencing last week because Tuttle played amazing, they were able to put up 41 points, you know, and so 12 right now. You know, maybe we'll see a bit of an explosion sometime soon, but as of right now, kind of a little bit slower this week.
3rd down and 10 as Berryhill rolls and throws. And incomplete is the call from the side judge over here, so that'll bring up a 4th down situation for the Tigers. 9:50 left to go here in this first half. Tuttle leading it by a score of 12-7. So they'll exchange the units. Dropping back in punt formation is Camden Perryman, standing right now at about his own 25-yard line. No rush on the ball. Kind of looks like it goes off the side of his foot.
Yeah, a little bit of a knuckleball there. Sends that one out to about the 40-yard line out of bounds.
It's either going to mark it at the 40 or there's a flag that was thrown also. So we have to check that to see what that is going to do with this play here. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Don't forget to tell friends, relatives, uncles, aunts to tune into the game as well. They can watch it anywhere by going to YurView.com. Obviously, if you're already watching, you know the address. YurView.com/Oklahoma to watch all the action tonight. Penalty is called against Kingfisher. And I'm not sure. It looked like it was illegal use of the hands, perhaps, was the indication from our referee. And they're going to spot the ball all the way back at the 30-yard line. There's a look at the scoreboard for you. With still 9:48 left to go before halftime.
Earlier on, you mentioned the tight end from Texas A&M having been a former Kingfisher Yellow Jacket. And kind of along the same line, former Sooner and current NFL player is from Kingfisher. That's Curtis Lofton.
Right.
Curtis Lofton was a linebacker for Kingfisher and went on to play for the Sooners and now is at the Oakland Raiders.
Running play, Kingfisher out across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. And I want to say Josh Henson, isn't he on the coaching staff at OSU now?
I believe so.
I think so. And he, of course, he was a tight end, I believe, at Tuttle as well. So they've had a good football history between both these two schools. A lot of times you don't think of guys that are at the Class 3 and 4A level that make it to the big-time D1 schools. Here's a running play as Sternberger's going to keep it himself. Tuttle strings this one out, nowhere to go, trying to run it to the short side of the field.
Sternberger with keepers taken out.
Yeah, that one just had nothing going there. Yeah, I mean, it just from the jump looked like it was a broken play.
Lost back to the 42-yard line.
So as you're watching along, you can always help us with some of these questions, and you can hit me up on Twitter at Steve R. Marshall. You can also hit up Dylan.
I am Dylan C_Rivera.
All right. Love to hear from you tonight. Pass to the near side is incomplete. Once again, Tuttle has really turned up the pressure on defense. And hurrying Sternberger back there, and it looks like there's another conversation, and there is a flag on the far side of the field. Let's see what that's about. Illegal procedure going to be the call against Kingfisher.
It looks like they're just kind of staying put so far. I mean, they started out at the 40, moved back a little bit, and then moved back up to the 40, and now they're moving back a little bit.
Tuttle will decline the penalty. And that should bring up a fourth down and a punting situation for Kingfisher. So Kingfisher, the first couple of possessions, just marching down the field, picking up chunks of yardage. Tuttle's defense has made some changes, some adjustments, and they're playing much better. Tuttle had the big touchdown pass from Berryhill to Trevino. So obviously a third down situation. Jet sweep going to the far side of the field. Needed to get all the way down to the 40, just inside the 46-yard line in Tuttle territory. He's brought down shy of midfield, and there is another flag on the field, and the Tuttle players are pointing as though it's against Kingfisher.
That wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they've gotten two in the last, minute and a half? So it wouldn't surprise me if they picked up a third here. And you know, as the Kingfisher coaching staff has got to be upset with that. I mean, they've got to be absolutely livid with the fact that they've got 3 penalties in just the span of minute and a half, 2 minutes.
So apparently Tuttle will decline that penalty as well and leave Kingfisher in a supposed punting situation with the ball at their own 49-yard line. And they still would need about 6 yards to get the first down. I think they'd rather play field position and go ahead and kick it away. They do. Kick is going to hit. Takes a definitely Kingfisher bounce. Let's see where they're going to spot it. It was touched at about the 6-yard line, and then they finally gained control at about the 4. So a nice punt for Kingfisher. Tuttle has a long way to go. 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line.
It looked like Clayton Abercrombie did that just so that way he could slow the ball down. Maybe the bounce, because obviously it still went pretty high, so it still had some momentum to go. That big bounce might have taken it into the end zone. So a smart play by him to almost just kind of slow the ball down and just drop it around the 6, the 5, then it just kind of rolled over to the 4, and now that's where they'll start their offense.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Last couple of possessions, they've been seemingly moving the ball pretty well. Let's see what happens on this possession. Berryhill takes the snap, left side, quick pass on the slant, complete. Gets it out to about the 18-yard line, close to a first down. Perhaps just a bit shy. No, they say it's enough. They're going to move the chains.
It's a very high-powered offense, so I think I would have punted it on that last 4th down as well, just to try to make them go the whole length of the field rather than just the 40 yards.
Berryhill again. Handoff, and this time the hole was clogged up. Yellow Jackets all over that one, and the swarm of Jackets brings them down. Loss on the play. Back to the 16-yard line.
Get a thumbs up for that pun, Steve. Swarm of Yellow Jackets.
Kind of realized it after I said it.
Well, I didn't know if you were planning on using that one.
I'm not that quick or that smart. Thanks for the credit, though. So 2nd down and long now for the Tigers. Berryhill, play action, throws over the middle. His receiver was wide open. If he catches that, he's running loose. Intended out there for number 23, Parker Ross. Just a little bit out in front. And incomplete. That'll bring up a 3rd down.
Already seen more incompletions in just these minute or quarter and a half than we did last week when he went 16 for 18. So he's done a great job. He did a great job last week. And this week he's still doing pretty well. That's Berryhill. He's doing a pretty good job, but just a few more incompletions.
This time rolls out to his left, in trouble, nowhere to go, and he's going to get dropped inside the 5, all the way back to really what is the original line of scrimmage. They're actually going to put it down at the 5-yard line.
Trey Green was a little slow to get up and ran straight over to the sideline.
Yeah.
Let's see if he maintains a healthy condition, is able to continue playing.
Big play right here, I think. Both teams have had a little problems on the special teams.
Absolutely. Well, and see, the play that got him pinned down here, I've been wondering kind of almost all game long, because it's happened more than a few times where these quarterbacks are dropping back really far to avoid pressure. How long is it going to take before one of them gets caught, just like they did on that play there?
That was almost blocked, gathered in by Kingfisher at about the 43-yard line. So they'll start this drive inside Tuttle territory. The return man there, Cole Crosswhite. I was reading about him earlier today. Apparently had a serious arm injury last year with multiple plates and screws that had to be inserted into his arm, and they were hoping just to keep him healthy for this year. So obviously we wish the best for not only him but everybody out there playing tonight. It's a rough and tumble game, and you hope you can get through each week injury-free.
Well, that's awesome, because I mean, it's his senior year. Obviously the injury's not awesome, but being able to be out here is good for him, because his final year in high school, maybe even his final year playing football, depending on whether he plays at the next level or not. And so that's great for him to finish up now.
Here he goes on a running play to the near side. Good blocking, gets 1st down yardage and then some.
Crosswhite with the carry, Ross with the tackle.
Gonna spot the ball all the way down at the 25-yard line, so I think he picked up about 22 on that play. Good job by that offensive line up front for the Yellow Jackets. Trips to the top of your screen. Crosswhite in the backfield. The Sternberger wants to throw left side for the corner of the end zone. There is some contact, and the flag does come out on the defensive side of things. That was Parker Ross back there.
As soon as our camera panned over there, I was like, that's a pass interference. Sure enough, the ref threw the laundry out onto the field, and now we're going to have a pass interference call.
So they'll discuss it, but it's not like the NFL where you get it from the point of the infraction. It's just a penalty that will take it still all the way inside the 18-yard line at about the 17, or rather the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for Kingfisher, knocking on the door, trying to get that lead back that they held for a while, but now trailing Tuttle. Sternberger rolling out to the right, throws. Pass is complete, only about a gain of 2 yards of the play. Complete over on the right side to Tyler Borelli.
Well, we're still yet to see this Kingfisher offense score. That touchdown was that defensive line pick 6. So this offense is still scoreless against Tuttle's defense.
So 2nd down and 8 coming up. Bottom of your screen is Borelli. 2 receivers to the top side. Pass is off the fingertips and incomplete as it goes out of bounds. That'll bring up a third down for Kingfisher.
I mean, that went straight through his hands, and you think those sticky gloves that they wear out there, he'd be able to catch that one, but that one went right through him.
Big play coming up here. Third down and about 9 for Kingfisher. See what Tuttle decides to do defensively. They've been lining up in this 3-man front, 3 men down, but usually sending a couple of linebackers off the edge. Here they bring just one. The pass is complete underneath, and he lost it. Did he ever have control will be the question. Apparently he did. They're going to give him a short gain down to about the 8-yard line, and that'll bring up a fourth down situation. There's a look.
Well, it's either that or maybe it just rolled out of bounds. Yeah, I think it might have just touched the line.
Could be right. He pounds the turf on the far side. I think you're exactly right. I think it's a complete pass. And we've got a timeout on the field. I think they took a timeout, and we'll take one as well. You can see 6:13 left to go before halftime. Kingfisher threatening and trailing Tuttle 12-7.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
All right, big play coming up right here. Fourth down situation for Kingfisher. They can get a first down if they can get it to about the Tuttle 3-yard line. Line of scrimmage is at the 8, so it's 4th and about 5. Or do you go ahead and kick the field goal? It's pretty much an extra point. They did make one earlier, but they did also miss a short field goal earlier as well. So a big call for Jeff Myers, the head coach for the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets. Let's see what he's going to roll out here. Sternberger, the quarterback, is out there on the field. Again, they need to get to the 3, maybe just inside the 3. Try to probably draw them off. They just go for it. Straight out, pass to the corner. He had his wide receiver who made a nice move to get open. He lunged for the ball off his fingertips, incomplete, and the Tigers hold.
Just a little bit too far out of his reach. I mean, he was that close, and that's twice now that he's just thrown the ball maybe just, feet, maybe inches too far out. And right here, a good route, able to get open, has enough space, and then just a little bit too far.
Wow. It's a good move because the cover man on the play for Tuttle, Trevino, he had bit on that middle move. But that's a timing play, obviously, and just unable to hook up there. So the Tigers take over deep inside their own territory again from the 8-yard line, leading by 5, 12-7, just over 6 minutes left to go before halftime. Running play up the middle.
That one had no chance. There was 4 Yellow Jackets in the backfield within a split second.
So a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play.
Loss of a couple. The second down.
Real quick, one of the teams that we are broadcasting later on this season is Hera, and Hera's playing Seminole at Seminole right now. They're down 25-0.
Seminoles always had a good, strong football team. Hera as well. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard and bring you some of those scores at halftime. Here's a pass over the middle. Intended there for Trevino, incomplete. Those two hooked up earlier in the big 62-yard touchdown reception.
Bring up third down, 3rd and 12.
Cole Crosswhite's really kind of become a story here in the second quarter, both offensively and defensively. He started to make some big plays and started to get his name out there.
Always amazes me the number of guys that, as you said earlier, that end up going both ways at these smaller schools. Once you get down into the 3As and the 4As and below, you see a lot more of that. Berryhill hit as he throws, nearly intercepted. to go back and see the replay and see who got the hit on Berryhill, because he was hit right as he released it. Got to think it affected the throw in some way. And that's going to bring up a 4th down situation for the Tigers. Line of scrimmage at their own 6-yard line. And another precarious situation for Tuttle, as dropping back to punt is Camden Perryman.
Well, if it didn't affect the throw on that play, that was just a really bad throw, because, I mean, that one sat up in the air. There's a lob pass up there.
Kingfisher decides to set up the return. Taken by cross wide at about the 37-yard line, reverses field, tries to find some running room, cuts it back towards the middle, gets inside the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. Great field position for the Yellow Jackets. 1st and 10 from the Tuttle 28.
Yeah, and he definitely just stole Ethan Paxton's ankles right there, cutting back into the inside with that left side juke. Just sent him to the turf.
It'll be 1st down for Kingfisher.
Kind of wondering where he was going there off the start, though. I mean, he switched fields, and I was like, I don't know where that's going to end up going, but obviously ended up getting some positive yardage out of it.
They're going to spot the ball at actually the 29-yard line in Tuttle territory. Still just over 5 minutes left to go before halftime. Plenty of time for the Yellow Jackets, who had a lot of offense early, but not nearly as much. Obviously, since Tuttle has made some adjustments. Sternberger, play action pass. Looked like he ran the play action through cross wide. He gets through the line of scrimmage and then looks back for the pass, but a little too low and incomplete. And we saw the officials conferring, so we've got an ineligible receiver downfield against Kingfisher. And they'll take some yardage away on that play.
Well, I think on top of that, he was kind of turning late. So you say it was kind of low and a little bit off target. And, but I think he was, running up there, and then just like right as he's turning, the ball's already zipping past him. So he's got to make sure to turn around and look at that ball a little sooner. Obviously, it doesn't matter because he's an ineligible receiver. But in the case where he's not one, he's got to make sure he's ready for the ball because it could come at any moment.
Still 1st down.
So we'll see what they decide here as they put the ball at the 34-yard line. So a 2nd and 15, I believe, and we've got another flag coming in. Illegal procedure going to be the call against Kingfisher.
False start against Kingfisher.
That's 5 penalties here in just the 2nd quarter alone on Kingfisher. And so, yeah, their coaching staff, they're going to get on to him at halftime for sure.
So now the line of scrimmage all the way back to the 39-yard line. They started the drive at the 29-yard line. Sternberger to throw. And he's going to get taken down. A sack on the play. They fumbled, but a nice play there. Number 52 defensively, Colin Naney, 6-foot junior, 240 pounds, getting into the backfield and dropping the quarterback for a loss.
Well, see, there it is again. I talk about these quarterbacks are trying to evade pressure by running backwards, and it's not getting them anything. I mean, how many times have we seen them escape from it? Yeah, quite a few. But now, twice now, we've seen it really just kind of bust up their entire drive because they're going backwards.
So the line of scrimmage was the Tuttle 29-yard line. There's a timeout on the field, and now the line of scrimmage is all the way back to about the 42 or 43. Here's what you were talking about.
Yeah, he's scrambling back. Let's see, it was at the 39 on that play. And, contact was made maybe by about the 48. So before he was even touched, he was, maybe 13 yards back?
It looked like the defender came in really untouched, and he didn't know which way to turn. All the momentum was going with the defender on that play.
Absolutely, and you've just got to make some kind of a play that doesn't put you backpedaling. Whether that's just fall to the ground or take the hit as it is, or try to scramble, parallel. But when you start heading backwards, all you're doing is digging yourself a deeper hole.
So a timeout on the field. That allows us to tell you about some of the other games that we'll be covering throughout the course of this early part of the season. Next week, we will be at Noble as the Ada Cougars and Noble square off. That promises to be a good contest. The week after that, it'll be Douglas at John Marshall, two of the top teams in the state. After that, it'll be Blanchard at Bethany in week 4 and week 5. We're actually going to move up to the big boy class, and we've got a great matchup there, Union and Mustang.
Union, I know a lot more about Union than I do about Westside football, so I can tell you a little bit more on them for sure. Of course, saying that from a BA alum, but still.
Running play left side, that's going to get him across midfield, but still, long way to go. I wanted to mention, too, because I remember you talking about being from BA and the east side. I saw where this week, Broken Arrow, Bixby, Owasso, Jenks, all those schools were going down to Mansfield, Texas to play all the different teams in Mansfield, Texas. Tell me about that.
Yeah, well, Mansfield, Texas actually comes up to Broken Arrow this year. Last year we went down there.
Okay.
And so they're coming up and playing here or at Memorial Stadium. But it's the Border Brawl is what they call it. We've done it a couple of years with a couple different Texas teams, and man, that would have been a great play right there. Let me just get back onto the game for a second. That would have been a great play if he'd caught that ball. Not a terrible throw, but two defenders in range, I guess you can say.
Good effort just off of his fingertips. Would have been a fabulous catch had he been able to come down with it. Questionable whether or not he was interfered with a little bit there. Parker Ross, among others, on the coverage.
Yeah, but definitely, yeah, the games where we're playing teams from outside of the state are always interesting because you never know what you're going to get. Usually, with teams around Oklahoma, you can say, oh, well, they've been good in the past. Oh, they've been bad. Or, hey, they've got this recruit. They've got this guy. Just got this coach, whatever it may be. But when it comes from, out of state, you kind of say, oh, well, I don't know anything about this team. I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. And the only ones who do are the ones that are in the football locker room. So everybody on the outside is kind of just waiting in anticipation to see what they get.
Yeah, because not being all that familiar with teams from Texas, other than, knowing that the Dallas-Fort Worth area has tons of teams. In Mansfield, Texas, you would think, my goodness, they have that many large schools. And, of course, we know everything's bigger than in Texas. So I saw that with interest today. Wanted to make sure I asked you about that. And best of luck to all the city schools that are going out there. Here's a running play. They may have hooked, and they did hook Berry Hill on the face mask. So even though he's going to lose yardage on the play, it's going to be a face mask penalty coming up against Kingfisher, and that will help them get a new set of downs.
Yeah, just an unfortunate placement of his hands. Looked like Berry Hill was kind of spinning out, and in the process of spinning out, that hand got up there and grabbed the face mask a little bit. So just unfortunate mishap, but another penalty on the side of Kingfisher.
So now first and, well, I don't have it marked up that way. Maybe it was, a 5-yard face mask penalty? So it looks like it's 2nd and 8. 1st and 8. Okay.
Interesting.
Running play. Berry Hill does a nice job to get loose. He's a big guy. And he busts through and gets the first down all the way to close to the 40-yard line. A little surprised, as big and as athletic as he is, that he doesn't run the football any more than what we saw in week 1. Where he just ran the ball 2 times for 21 yards. He really hasn't run it very much here.
Yeah, 6'1", 190. He's a pretty built quarterback. As you mentioned, he's going to be somebody that those smaller defensive backs and you see those a lot in smaller school football. Those smaller defensive backs, those guys are going to have a tough time trying to bring him down.
Yeah, because in some cases, a lot of cases, he's going to be bigger than a lot of linebackers and as big as some linemen. Now, other guys are going to outweigh him by 40 and 50 pounds in a lot of cases too, but that's a good-sized quarterback at any level. Here's a nice run up the middle. Good push by that Tuttle offensive line, and another flag comes in from the far side of the field. So a lot of laundry being done out on the field here in this second quarter of play. Clock stopped, 3:08 left to go. Got another face mask against Kingfisher.
I mean, I know as a coach, it's got to be absolutely frustrating to just see Tuttle constantly getting the advantage, whether it be offensively they're moving up or defensively they're moving you back, and it's all on your own hands. I mean, you're shooting yourself in the foot when you keep messing up and getting penalty calls. So you've got to clean it up and you've got to get better, especially here in this second half, because you've still got a shot at winning this game.
Berryhill dropping to throw off the play action, throwing downfield. Intended receiver out there for Tuttle, number 23, Parker Ross. A little too tall that time. Pass goes incomplete and stops the clock with 2:57 remaining before halftime.
So since that first play in the second quarter, that took up that first like 8-9 seconds of the second quarter, we haven't seen anybody score since. It's been scoreless for this entire last 10 minutes or so.
Here's Berryhill with the handoff straight ahead. Maybe got a yard. Guess they haven't blown it dead yet. Still fighting. They're going to bring them all the way back to about the 50, but yeah, forward progress is going to stop right at the line of scrimmage. One of the coaches is out on the field, saying, hey, you guys never blew the whistle.
And I didn't see a knee touch, so.
Good effort. Good 1-2 by Tristan Truelove. But he may have been wise to just go down as Yellow Jackets just kept piling on him as though they were building a nest.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this time Berryhill's going to roll it out to the right side, looking and throwing deep to the corner. Got a man wide open into the end zone. No flags. They're looking back. Kingfisher saying they're looking for it to get waved off, and it looks like we do have a flag.
Interesting.
Berryhill shot it out there. I believe the receiver was number 80, Trevino again, but
actually, I don't know if there was a flag. I think he just lost control of the ball.
Did he really?
Let's watch it. I think he may have lost it pretty late there.
Timeout, Tuttle.
Trevino looks like he has it there.
When he goes down. Maybe they say he didn't have enough possession of it.
I don't understand, because looked to me as though, he took a couple of steps in the end zone.
Yeah, it's an interesting call. I mean, I would have let that go as a touchdown, but
I mean, he's in. Touchdown right there.
Yeah, it's not until he hits the ground.
Unless they're saying that he, was bobbling it on the way down and never really had true possession of it. Either way, the clock is stopped. Timeout on the field. Let's take one more look. Good throw by Berryhill.
Yeah, for sure. Got it right on the money almost.
He came out, seemingly to me anyway, after he'd taken a couple of steps in the end zone, but maybe it was loose. It looked like it was one of those that he kind of had more in his bicep, not really cradling the ball like you're taught to, but maybe the ends, it was standing up vertically in his arm instead of horizontally.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I'm the ref, I'm calling that a touchdown, but so it goes that they're going to say he lost the ball or didn't have control of it, and so it'll bring it all the way back to the 45, and I imagine they're going to punt the ball.
Fourth down situation. And Perryman dropping deep to punt. 2:01 left to go before halftime. They're going to play field position with this, it appears. Snap is back. Kick is away. It's a short, wobbly kick. It takes a Tuttle bounce. Now let's see where they're going to mark it out of bounds. They're going to say it went out at the 25-yard line. So not really gaining much at all in that play.
No, and that had the opportunity to be a great spot to punt the ball, because, I mean, you punt it down within that 20-yard line, which is maybe just a 20-yard punt, 20, 30-yard punt. You just let it bounce from there, and it should be able to get you back to about the 10. But he maybe just shanked that one. Ended up going out about the 25.
Was it a 20-yard net punt? Was the line of scrimmage the 45?
Yeah, it was.
All right, so Kingfisher takes over. Just under 2 minutes left to go here before halftime. Tuttle on top, leading at 12-7. Sternberger on the give, off the right side, handing it off there to Crosswhite.
Another flag.
And we've seen a lot of penalties in the second quarter.
I'm about sick of seeing penalties now. Face mask.
So the penalty will add additional yardage onto the end of the carry by Crosswhite, who originally gained about 3 or 4 yards. They'll spot it down at the 33-yard line. First and 10 now for the Jackets. 38-yard line. Handoff.
Ball's loose.
Ball is loose. Picked up by Tuttle. No whistles, and it looks like it's going to be a turnover. Line judge here on the field is saying, oh, look, Tuttle's
He's saying it's down.
He's saying it's down, but it looks as though it will still be Tuttle football, and it is. Well, another turn of events for the Tigers.
I don't know if I've ever seen so much miscommunication on one play between refs there.
Ball is definitely loose and out right there.
Funny thing is, it kind of sat there for maybe a second or two without anybody even jumping on it.
You see the line judge running into the play after he'd already taken off downfield. Didn't look like he recovered it and then got up off his knees or at any time touched down, because the ball was loose. Nonetheless, Tiger football, this time at the 37-yard line in Kingfisher territory. Tigers trying to add to their 5-point lead with a minute and a half to go before halftime. Rolling right, Berryhill throws near side, pass caught out of bounds at about the 30. Nice gain there, Parker Ross on the reception for the Tigers.
Well, the defensive line was able to bust right through on that play, so a good job by Berryhill to stay calm and make a good throw, because he had pressure getting really close to him at the moment that he let that ball go.
Not sure what they're discussing right now, but the referee is talking to the Tigers. Penalty against Tuttle. We'll bring it back. And now they're going the other way.
A penalty against Kingfisher, maybe?
Maybe they were confused, which confused me.
Yep, penalty against Kingfisher.
All right. So, as we sort this out, the ball is going to be marked at the 22-yard line in Kingfisher territory. Tuttle on the attack with a minute and a half left to go before halftime. Berryhill, the quarterback. Takes the snap, looks left side, quick slant, caught. Inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line, and then the ball comes loose. Was it dead?
I don't think so.
Fumble on the play.
Kingfisher's not reacting as though it's their football.
Wow.
Tuttle did come away with it, it appeared. That the receiver, perhaps, number 23, again, Parker Ross, came up with the football. So the Tigers now with the first and goal from about the 2-yard line. Berryhill barks out some signals. Kingfisher jumps, and they are called for encroachment half the distance to the goal line.
I'd like to see a replay of that last play if we can, of that fumble, and them saying he's down.
Didn't seem much of an argument from Kingfisher, so here's the look once again. Boy, it looked like it was out, didn't it?
Yeah.
I guess they recovered it.
Interesting.
All right. Running play to the right side into the end zone. He scores the touchdown. And Tuttle extends their lead. I thought maybe one of the linemen got up a little early, but so I waited for the call, but it's ruled a touchdown, and the Tigers expand their lead now on top 18-7 as you take a look. The right side was just quicker than the rest of the line.
I guess so.
And a nice job opening up the hole, putting his head down and getting into the end zone was Tristan Truelove. Here's the extra point attempt. That's no good. And so with 55 seconds left to go before halftime, the Tigers have scored 18 points in succession. They lead Kingfisher on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. Tigers 18, Yellow Jackets 7. We'll be back.
You may have heard of Tulsa Tech, but did you know we offer business and industry training for large and small companies? Come get trained and certified in areas like confined space, HAZWOPER, crane rigging, CPR, first responder, and more. To learn more about our affordable and customized training and how Tulsa Tech can be a valuable resource to your company, call 918-828-5000 or visit us online at tulsatech.edu.
Well, it hasn't been the cleanest of second quarters that we've seen. A lot of penalties and turnovers. But Tuttle likes the way things are going after trailing early 7-0 after the pick six. As you mentioned earlier, Dylan, the Kingfishers not been able to put any points on the board offensively. Tuttle has, and now the Tigers out to an 18-7 lead with just less than a minute left to go before halftime.
Yeah, and I think a big story is the penalties. I mean, even on the offensive end, Kingfisher is picking up a lot of different calls. I've just never seen this much laundry in my life. I mean, it's just all over the place.
Here's the kickoff, taken right at the 20-yard line. Nice job to elude the would-be tackler, and then he pays the price as he gets hit once, twice, and then by several of the Tigers. Sometimes it's best to just go down, especially when somebody has you by the ankles. Good effort, though, by number 2 for Kingfisher. That's Zach Goodwin. And the Yellow Jackets with 46 seconds left to go here before halftime. Let's see if they're going to try to make something happen, or if they're going to be content to have it where it is, make some adjustments, and come out with a blistering second half to overcome these Tuttle Tigers.
I'm going to be honest, on that kick return, I think it might have been Hayden Stafford, his own teammate, that kind of ran into him a little bit, and he stopped his momentum. But still a good return, still not too bad. 46 seconds to try to make it all the way down the field, and like you said, down a couple scores here, but we've seen some success for the Yellow Jackets on the offensive end. Now they just got to put it into the end zone.
Well, they're going the wrong way if that's what their goal is. Nice play defensively by the Tigers. They drop them for a loss. Kingfisher shows no apparent hurry to get anything moving here. As you can see the clock winding down on our first half of play.
Now you say they're moving the wrong way, but I didn't say which end zone.
Okay. If they choose, this could be the last snap of the first half. They're letting the clock wind down to the very end. Final 10 seconds. As they take the snap, the handoff actually met in the backfield, the loss on the play, and that will be the end of the first half. Well, it started good for Kingfisher as they got the pick six to go up 7-0. But ever since then, it's been all Tuttle. The Tigers leading at halftime on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. 18-7 is our score. We'll come back. We'll check some of the other scores, recap this first half for you during our halftime show, and we'll take a timeout and be right back.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah. 5 little monkeys.
Yay, Bella!
Hold still. Almost done.
Oh, Bella, I really love playing with you.
Thanks, Grandma. I really like our visits.
Whatever tech tomorrow dreams up, you'll be ready with GigaBlast. Future speed internet is here from Cox.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Weoki 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Weoki and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Weoki for details.
When summer heats up and your AC isn't working right, be cautious of getting pressured into a replacement.
It's always a good idea to get a second opinion, and Airco will let you know if your old air conditioner is worth fixing.
So call Airco for a second opinion.
Call Airco Service today.
The company you know.
Tulsa Tech's our primary source of training. From specialized machining to leadership training, there's definitely a technology gap between the actual working of the machines and the talent pool of people able to operate these machines. The more that we can educate ourselves, our employees, the better off that we are to serve our customers. Tulsa Tech has programs for your whole organization to learn. No matter what size your company is, Tulsa Tech can help.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah. 5 little monkeys.
Yay, Bella!
Hold still. Almost done.
Oh, Bella, I really love playing with you.
Thanks, Grandma. I really like our visits.
Whatever tech tomorrow dreams up, you'll be ready with GigaBlast. Future speed internet is here from Cox.
The GigaBlast halftime show, powered by Cox, is brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers, the best in Oklahoma. Airco, the company you know. Tulsa Tech, for your future success, go to tulsatech.edu. And by Weoki Credit Union. Join us all fall long for some of the top high school football from around the country on Game Time.
And welcome back to Game Time here on YurView. We're at the intermission at Tuttle, as you can see. Bands on the field performing for all the folks that have gathered for this matchup between two powerhouse teams in 3A and in Class 4A. And our score right now stands with Tuttle on top of Kingfisher, 18-7. Steve Marshall, Dylan Rivera alongside, kind of recapping that first half of play. And we've seen a lot of punts. We've seen a lot of penalty flags. We've seen some good defense. We've seen some good offense, a little bit of everything in that first half. But really, to kind of wrap it up, I mean, Kingfisher gets that pick six to go up 7-0. And then their offense, which looked so good early on, Tuttle obviously made some adjustments, Dylan. They've been able to play better defensively and offensively, and they scored the next 18 points in succession to take that 18-7 halftime lead.
Well, I talked about early on, I said the key of the game was going to be how the defensive backs handled this game. And I think I might have been a little bit off. It seems like the defensive line and those linebackers getting into the backfield and causing tough throws for both sides, both quarterbacks, that is Berryhill and Sternberger. Both of them having to make tough throws constantly, just in and out. And I think those key players coming in and pressuring the quarterback are making it a tougher game for them rather than the defensive backs.
Well, and as we look at some of the drives that had taken place here, as we said, the Kingfisher got the pick six. Riley Myers was able to take that. We'll be looking at the highlights during our next segment here. It is the GigaBlast halftime show for you. We'll come back. We'll take a look at some highlights, check some other scores from across the state, games that are going on tonight, and also look back at some of the games that took place yesterday as well. Right here on Game Time. It's on YurView, and it's your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week. We'll take that time out and continue. Stay with us.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah. 5 little monkeys.
Yay, Bella!
Hold still. Almost done.
Oh, Bella, I really love playing with you.
Thanks, Grandma. I really like our visits.
Whatever tech tomorrow dreams up, you'll be ready with GigaBlast. Future speed internet is here from Cox.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
You may have heard of Tulsa Tech, but did you know we offer business and industry training for large and small companies? Come get trained and certified in areas like confined space, HAZWOPER, crane rigging, CPR, first responder, and more. To learn more about our affordable and customized training and how Tulsa Tech can be a valuable resource to your company, call 918-828-5000 or visit us online at tulsatech.edu.
No one thinks about their water heater until it fails. At that point, you have a huge mess on your hands with water damage everywhere.
A planned water heater replacement can save you a lot of trouble.
Right now, you can save big on a new high-efficiency water heater.
Call Airco Service,
the company you know.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Wyoke 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Wyoke and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Wyoke for details.
Welcome back, everybody, to your GigaBlast halftime show as we take a look at some of the first half highlights that allow us to tell you how we got to this score of 18-7. Tuttle Tigers on top of the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets. It all started early in that first quarter of play. You're going to be watching as Tuttle has the ball on offense, and the pass is intercepted there by Riley Myers. Myers is going to get a nice block downfield, and he's going to get into the end zone for the first score of the ball game.
A great job. There was some great pressure on Berryhill and made the throw difficult. And he was easily able to just pick that one off because, I mean, it was just a duck almost thrown right at him. Able to pick it off and take it to the house.
All right, and then Kingfisher with that early lead. They made the extra point to take a 7-0 advantage. The next touchdown took place, and that was going to be the Tuttle Tigers, as you watch here, running play. As they're going to take it to the left side and getting into the end zone. Number 28, Tristan Truelove. Nice running play for the score for the Tigers as they get the end zone there and cut into that lead. They missed their extra point attempt. The kicking game was not up to the standard I'm sure that head coach would want it to be there, Brad Bullard, but nonetheless getting into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, and I'm sure Cade Stevenson is going to be working on his tug-of-war game because right there, that's what it looked like. He was tugging as hard as he could, just trying to hold the running back from getting into the end zone, but obviously just kept moving and kept punching and was able to find the end zone, find pay dirt.
All right, then the next play that we're going to watch here coming up is going to be a field goal attempt for Kingfisher, and the holder just can't ever get it down.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier, I said, is that Abercrombie or is that Tony Romo? And that's what it looked like.
Didn't really have an idea what he was going to be able to do with that ball, so missed opportunity there for Kingfisher. Had they made that, they would then be just trailing by the one score. Tuttle is able to answer back once again, as this is the long pass here that's going to go from Carson Berryhill to Kobe Trevino. Catches him in stride, he breaks the tackle and finds the end zone.
Trevino, the track runner, just like I mentioned earlier on, trying to just get him to run those fly routes and outrun those cornerbacks, outrun the secondary, and that's what he did on that play, just able to get a step on the cornerback, and then they say, you know what, Berryhill, just chuck it as deep as you can and he'll get to it. That's exactly what happened.
Tuttle looked like they had another touchdown as we watch a replay here as fumble recovery is taken down there, and showing some of the good defense that Tuttle was able to play in that first half after giving up. Really, the defense hasn't given up anything. Here's the pass that he throws towards the corner of the end zone. We both thought that he had it, but apparently did not.
Yeah, and I don't really see anywhere that he really lost it up until that last second where he's falling out of bounds, which at that point he had already taken 2-3 steps. And so to me it was a catch, but nonetheless it's ruled incomplete and brought all the way back to, I believe it was the 45.
Yep, so no points on that possession, but they would get in the end zone one more time. Here's the play here. And once again, it's going to be Truelove as he takes the handoff, goes over the right side. Big hole there. All he has to do is avoid the tackler and get in the end zone, and he finds 6 points there.
Well, that Kingfisher defense is showing true love. True love.
There you go.
They're giving him plenty of touchdowns. He's got 12 points of his own up on the board.
So 18-7 is our halftime score. Tuttle on top of Kingfisher. It's your GigaBlast halftime show. As you get to enjoy some of the youngsters on the field performing at the halftime. I'd like to make sure that we cover all of them as well as the action that's going on the field as well. Dylan and I will come back. We'll continue, maybe take a look at some of the scores on games that are going on and some of the games that were played yesterday right here on Game Time on YurView. It's your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event, and now is the best time to buy.
You ready for this, Junior?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
No pressure. That's just my favorite boat.
Boom.
Make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, find great offers across a huge lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now get 0% financing for 60 months plus $3,250 cash back on F-150 at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
You may have heard of Tulsa Tech, but did you know we offer business and industry training for large and small companies? Come get trained and certified in areas like confined space, HAZWOPER, crane rigging, CPR, first responder, and more. To learn more about our affordable and customized training and how Tulsa Tech can be a valuable resource to your company, call 918-828-5000 or visit us online at tulsatech.edu.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah. 5 little monkeys.
Yay, Bella!
Hold still. Almost done.
Oh, Bella, I really love playing with you.
Thanks, Grandma. I really like our visits.
Whatever tech tomorrow dreams up, you'll be ready with GigaBlast. Future speed internet is here from Cox.
No one thinks about their water heater until it fails. At that point, you have a huge mess on your hands with water damage everywhere.
A planned water heater replacement can save you a lot of trouble.
Right now, you can save big on a new high-efficiency water heater.
Call Airco Service,
the company you know.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Weoki 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Weoki and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Weoki for details.
Welcome back, everybody, to your GigaBlast halftime show, brought to you by your good friends at Cox Communications. Steve Marshall, Dylan Rivera here at the halftime intermission, where Tuttle is on top of Kingfisher by a score of 18-7. I'll run some scores for you from last night in Class 6A. The Norman Tigers beat Norman North for the first time in 5 years as they won that ball game 28-12. In a game that I called last evening, Southmore won their first game in more than a year as they beat Deer Creek by a final score of 20-7 or 27-10. Remember the name Jaden Scott, the quarterback for Southmore. He had quite a game last night. In 6A2, it was Altus defeating Lawton 45-35. Putnam North beat Putnam City 33-0. And Carl Albert, right now, I think that must be going on right now, they are winning that game by a score of 28-7. I'll just take care of the rest of last night's games. Dylan, Noble beat Newcastle last evening 42-21 in Class 5A games. Also in Class 5A last night, Bethany 49, Elk City 20. Cleveland defeated Hominy by a score of 42-12. In Class 3A last night, John Marshall 60, Northeast nothing. Locust Grove 34, Salina nothing, and it was Millwood defeating Heritage Hall by a final score of 30-20. Let you catch everybody up on some of the other current scores.
I just want to go back. You said John Marshall 60-0. That's a high scoring affair there. One thing you said earlier on was you mentioned the Texas games for the East Side teams, and so I'll read off some of those scores. Bixby is up 29-26 on Mansfield Timberview. And then as you scroll down, you start seeing Jinx is tied 14-14 with Mansfield Legacy. Broken Arrow 28-6. They're up on Mansfield, just Mansfield Plain. And then the interesting one to me was Owasso. Owasso went to Fayetteville, and they are down 37-10.
Wow.
Defending state champions right there. And so that's interesting. And obviously there are some games that kind of apply a little bit more to what we've got going on here tonight. And for instance, we've got, let's see, where'd it go? I lost it. This scored a lap. It's got games everywhere.
So many different games and so many schools to cover throughout the course of it. You're watching our GigaBlast halftime show right now. Tuttle on top of Kingfisher, 18-7.
I found it.
Okay.
Mustang at Yukon. Mustang is up 14-13 right now. We'll be broadcasting Mustang versus Union later on in the season.
big rivalry game there between Mustang and Yukon. Any score on the Moore War? I hadn't seen anything there between Westmore and Moore. That would be another game of interest. It's probably not too very far away, but we'll see if we can't come up with that. And if we do, we'll certainly pass that score along to you and any others as well. We're going to take another timeout. We're not too far away from the start of the second half. Tuttle on top of Kingfisher. They lead it 18-7.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah. 5 little monkeys.
Yay, Bella!
Hold still. Almost done.
Oh, Bella, I really love playing with you.
Thanks, Grandma. I really like our visits.
Whatever tech tomorrow dreams up, you'll be ready with GigaBlast. Future speed internet is here from Cox.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
No one thinks about their water heater until it fails. At that point, you have a huge mess on your hands with water damage everywhere.
A planned water heater replacement can save you a lot of trouble.
Right now, you can save big on a new high-efficiency water heater.
Call Airco Service,
the company you know.
Tuttle Tech has really helped me build my future. Woodworking is my passion. I've always wanted to be a carpenter. The carpentry program is a great program to get into. The teacher is fantastic. He teaches us about quality, and no matter what you do, you need to have pride and integrity in your work. The facilities here are state-of-the-art. All the tools here are the best of the best. This class has been a great opportunity for me. It's one of my favorite classes ever. We've so much fun, the best 3 hours of my day. Tuttle Tech has really helped me make my own path in so many ways.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Weoki 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Weoki and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Weoki for details.
Both teams back out on the field. The mandatory 3-minute stretch before they begin the second half of play. Tuttle Tigers got off to a bit of a slow start, but they rebounded quickly. The offense played better. The defense played lights out. Defense still hasn't given up any points in this game. The only points Kingfisher got, the opening touchdown of the ball game when Riley Myers got an interception and then took it into the end zone. That gave Kingfisher the 7-0 lead, but since then it's been all Tuttle. A couple of touchdowns there by Tristan Truelove, and then the long touchdown pass from Carson Berryhill as he was able to find Kobe Trevino, accounting for the Tuttle 18 points. They were unsuccessful on their extra point attempts. Right now it's Tuttle on top of Kingfisher by a score of 18-7. You also said that Westmore was leading Moore in the Moore War 28-0.
Yeah, it's a barn burner over there, and that's the third quarter with about 5 minutes left to go. So that one maybe Moore can climb back into that, but they're definitely in a steep hole right now.
Well, I thought that the Moore schools were going to even out a little bit more. Westmore, of course, had the best of it last year with Southmore not having a very good year. Moore has been seemingly in a rebounding situation, trying to get back to where they once were. You know, at the beginning of the 2000s, Moore never won a state championship because of schools like Jenks and Union, but they were in the semifinals. I believe it was 3 out of 5 years, so they were always knocking on the door and just have not been able to get back to that apogee where they were when they were one of the most successful teams in the state. But you can bet that a lot of pride in those Moore schools will have them back and ready to go, as evidenced by their win last night over Deer Creek by Southmore. So there's a good look on the sidelines as we take a look and get ready for the second half.
Well, and you were talking about, the success that Moore has had. Kingfisher, going back to this game, Kingfisher has been very successful over their past few years under Jeff Myers. Obviously, he's been doing a great job. He won a Coach of the Year award in 2013, but they won the state title in 2013. They were in the state title game in both 2012 and 2010. Both of those games lost them 28-21, so only one touchdown. And then they were in the 2007 state title game as well, lost that one 21-16. So they've made it to the very tip top of the mountain, but just one person is up there, one team is up there and plants that flag before them.
I know that I was talking with Jeff Myers yesterday, and maybe it was even today, and we were reliving one of those games because I called one of those games that they lost to Heritage Hall. Heritage Hall had a pretty good wide receiver at that time named Sterling Shepard. You might have heard of him along the way. And they just kept running the jet sweep with Sterling Shepard, and they could not figure out a way to stop it. Of course, he's an NFL talent. Wouldn't be too much of a stretch to say he's not one of the premier wide receivers in the league, but certainly one of the best in the National Football League right now. But I remember that game vividly. And Kingfisher has been there knocking on the door. As you said, they won it in 2003, they won it in 2013, and they've been very, very close a number of other times. Now it was time for halftime adjustments. Who's going to make the adjustment that makes the difference in this second half? Still anybody's football game, but you would have to think going into this second half that Tuttle definitely has the momentum.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, the defense has held up stellar. I mean, it's just been a great job. Scoreless Kingfisher offense. You can't play it any better if you're Tuttle. As for Kingfisher, you know that at halftime they were definitely saying, clean it up, boys. We've got to make sure we're not getting any more penalties on us because we're just shooting ourselves in the foot.
Here comes the kick return. Tripped up, literally, I believe, on the play there. The return man, number 36 for the Tuttle Tigers. That's Grant Polson. And he'll get it out. We got multiple flags on the field, so the second half begins much the way that first half ended. They're going to spot the ball at the 37, but you can see the flags laying back there at the 21 and the 23-yard line, so that would tell you that it's going to be against the kickoff team. They're talking to Kingfisher, so looks as though Tuttle's going to be pinned back deep in their own territory.
What's crazy is that first quarter we were talking about how fast it was going. It was just play after play after play. And then the second quarter came and it was flag after flag after flag, and it just slowed the game down. And now first play of the second half and we're already getting another flag.
So they'll march it back, and they're going to spot the ball.
First down.
Looks like the 11-yard line. And that's where Tuttle will start the second half. 1st and 10, leading by 11, 18-7. Quarterback is Carson Berryhill. This time he fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, goes straight ahead, caught from behind. Otherwise he might have picked up more yardage. Gets it out across the 15 to about the 16-yard line, a gain of 5.
With the tackle.
You can bet the crowd on hand
16-yard line
at Tuttle, making sure that they let their boys know that they're behind them all the way. The folks that made the trip from Kingfisher, trying to get their team back in it so they can come from behind and get the win. Here's a running play. Good, strong, tough running. First down yardage, still not down. Finally taken down at about the 25-yard line. And once again, it's Tristan Truelove on the carry and the first down.
Yeah, great run there. Able to shoot the gap quickly, and then even while he's getting hit, is still moving forward, still picking up yardage, and a great job by Tristan Truelove. We've seen him make some great runs today. A couple of scores on the board that are by his hands.
Tuttle, very deliberate in their approach. Kingfisher just right back to the line of scrimmage, wants to play as fast as they possibly can. Berryhill, handoff, left side. Truelove again, still fighting, gets it out across the 30 to the 31. 3 running plays and 3 good gains, and that tells you the offensive line is getting a good push up front.
at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, and those big boys up front, and they never get enough love. It's always, everybody talks about the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, the defense. Nobody talks about the offensive line, but their job is very crucial.
Second down for Tuttle. Play action pass. Berryhill going up top once again. His man Trevino is wide open again. Got to be the same identical play, but this time just overshot him a little bit.
Well, and that one would have been a tough catch. It would have been an over the shoulder. And even for NFL players, that's a tough catch. So if he had been able to haul this one in, I definitely would have been impressed. The one that always clicks in my mind is one from Roddy White when he played for Atlanta. He had one that was over the shoulder, and it was just insane. And seeing those over-the-shoulder catches, they don't look that hard maybe when you're watching it on television, but then when you try to go out in the yard and do it, it's tough.
Yeah, I get dizzy and fall down. Penalty coming up here. Did Kingfisher jump across, or were they drawn? You made that comment about the offensive line, and I'll always remember an old story that I used to hear about John Madden and the owner for the Oakland Raiders, Art Davis.
Al Davis, yes.
Al Davis, they would always have the discussion that, and I forget which one was which, but Davis said, I want a strong offensive line. Madden says, I want cornerbacks that allow me to just go one-on-one so I don't have to double team them and use two guys and leave somebody else on the field open. So those two always fought about that, and of course, it doesn't matter because Oakland Raiders had a great success while John Madden was definitely their coach, so it worked out well, whoever was making that call.
Yeah, John Madden was a spectacular coach. And then as a broadcaster, everybody knows how he was as that. He was entertaining, we'll put it that way. But he knew his stuff, and he was a great mentor to a lot of players and other coaches in the league, and his coaching tree definitely stretches wide.
See how John Gruden does with the Raiders this year now. Ball at the 40-yard line. Tuttle on the march. Four-man front for Kingfisher. Running play, and a good job by the Yellow Jackets as they are there, dropping the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage this time.
That play was busted up pretty quickly. Kingfisher in the backfield just within the blink of an eye. Big story with the Raiders this year is, or at least right now, is the Khalil Mack business. Whether he's getting the contract, whether he's getting traded, where he's going, what's going on.
So Aaron Donald signed for a new record today.
Oof, that one was crazy.
Yeah. Here's Berryhill with the quick pass, quick little curl pattern. Pass is caught, and it's going to be enough for a first down as he hooks up with Perryman, and he gets into Kingfisher territory. Spot him down at about the 45, 46-yard line in Kingfisher territory.
Good play there for the Tuttle offense. Another good throw from Berryhill. And Berryhill, like I mentioned last week, 16 of 18, 306 yards, 3 touchdowns. So I'm expecting more of the same this week. And so far, he's produced pretty well.
Opening possession here in this second half. Tuttle working the clock, grinding it out. Another big run. Truelove getting into the secondary, all the way inside the 20-yard line, still on his feet, finally driven out, but not until he gets inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Truelove just dancing his way along the sideline, making some nice moves, and a big gain for the Tigers.
A great run by Truelove, and not only that, but he had some good downfield blocking from a couple of his offensive linemen, and he was able to keep going and made a few defenders miss as he was on his way to about the 7-8 yard line. So we're out at the 10.
First and 10 now for the Tigers now. In the backfield now also number 44, Zane Vasquez. Motion man in front, number 36 is Grant Polson. The give to Truelove, hit in the backfield there by number 18. That's Cade Stevenson. And Kingfisher needs to stand tall here. Clock is running, very quick moving second half. And Tuttle has owned it since the very beginning, already working off over 3.5 minutes on this opening drive. Jackets need a stop. Berryhill takes the snap, looks right. Now he's going to keep it and run left. Trying to get to the corner, breaks a tackle. He gets the corner. He gets inside the 5-yard line, all the way down to the 3. And another first down for the Tuttle Tigers. Carson Berryhill doing it with his arm and with his feet on this occasion.
Carson Berryhill has been playing outstanding all game long. And you got to wonder if Kingfisher's going to be able to find an answer, because so far he's just been ripping them to shreds. I mean, especially here in the second half, moving straight down the field. Obviously, he's had some help from True Love, but still, Tuttle just moving the ball very, very calmly and very quietly.
Handoff True Love up the middle. Looking to the side. Did he get in?
Touchdown, Tuttle.
Well, they're celebrating as though he got in. We never did see a call from the official, but it looks as though it is a touchdown for the Tuttle Tigers. And they will increase their lead now to 24-7 and come on for the extra point.
True Love's third touchdown run of the day. I mean, those are big numbers for a running back. Especially one that, what did he have, only like 5 carries last week?
That's unbelievable. Talk about your offense growing from week to week. This time going for 2. Berryhill makes the catch. Now a jump pass, and that's going to be intercepted in the end zone. So they've been unsuccessful on their extra points, but they've done everything else well on offense and on defense. The Tigers opening possession in the second half. They take it length of the field and now have increased their lead 24-7 over Kingfisher on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of great deals like 0% financing for 60 months on the built Ford Tough F-150. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 60 plus $32.50 cash back on F-150. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Tuttle Tigers, well, we talked about adjustments made at halftime. And Tuttle taking that opening drive and burning 4.5 minutes off the clock. Go length of the field, number of big plays. True Love with an 11-yard run, a completion to Perryman for a first down. True Love with a 30-yard run and another first down. Berryhill had a first down run, and then True Love getting into the end zone for the touchdown. And the Tigers take the lead now 24-7 with 7:22 left to go here in the third quarter of play. All set to kick it off. Ball is in the air. Taken at about the 16-yard line. Got a reverse going on here. Handed off to the wingman. That's number 2 on the play, Zach Goodwin. See that too very often, but worked for them. They got it all the way out to the 47.
Absolutely an interesting decision to run it back that direction, and with that a little bit of a flair to it. But 24-7 is the score, so I mean, you've got to do something to try to get some points on the board, especially since your offense has been so stale this entire evening. But we've got a flag, and it is, I believe, against Tuttle.
See if there is going to be a call on the play. Getting a look from our field camera here. Kingfisher still huddled with their coach, and here they come. They're going to spot it at the 41-yard line. Originally, they had him down at the 47 is what I had written down, so I don't know if there was 5 yards taken away or if maybe he had stepped out along the sideline. Either way, 1st and 10 for Kingfisher. And they've got to do something with the ball offensively. Low snap. They run into the running back. Sternberger goes down, and that's just good timing by that Tuttle defense, as they did not allow Kingfisher to get anything going.
Well, and he was lucky because he had hit the running back, and if he had hit Sternberger, that could have been lights out for him, because that was a big hit on number 17 there, Cole Crosswhite.
So a loss on the play. 4 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down and 14. Sternberger looks to the sidelines, getting signals from the coach. Takes the snap, drops, looks, and he wants to throw deep. Got a man downfield. Again, it would have been one of those almost directly over the head catches intended out there for number 26, trying to hook up with Colton York. Passes incomplete, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 14. Here's a look.
Well, not only that, but that would be now the 3rd time that Sternberger has just barely overthrown a receiver, whether it be on a fly route or an out route. He's just barely put it too far out there, and I think he's trying to play it safe and put it away from the defenders, but when he's doing that, he's putting just a little bit too much on it and making it too difficult to catch.
Third down for Kingfisher. Tuttle showing blitz. They're bringing the whole house, and they're going to get the ball carrier and drop him. Here's a flag on the play that comes in rather late. Let's see what they're going to call here. Kingfisher not able to get anything going on their own.
Yeah, about 7 Tigers in the vicinity of the runner, so doesn't surprise me.
Kingfisher clapping as though it's against Tuttle, waiting for the call from our referee. He steps up and gives us, well, they're still conferring.
He gives us more conversation.
It's going to be a personal foul against Tuttle, and if that's the case, that's going to be an automatic first down. So the great defensive stand that they made, looks like it's going to be all for naught. But the 10-yard penalty is going to be shy, but it looks like it's going to be a 15, and that'll be enough for a first down. So Tuttle did everything they could on that defensive stand, except they did a little bit more than what they should have. Get called for the penalty, which keeps the drive alive for the Jackets, and they've got it now, 1st and 10 at the Tuttle 48.
Well, and I doubt Tuttle's too worried about it, since they still have not given up one single point to the Kingfisher offense. But at the same time, you can't have those silly mistakes. It cost you a lot. As you see there, 15 yards on 3rd and 14. Now you've given them a whole new set of downs.
Tigers really running well to the football. And when you're having that much success, sometimes offenses will try to use that against you. Maybe use one of those boot passes to throw back the other way. Yeah, because they've run 4 plays offensively, really gained no yardage. The penalty, the big difference here withstanding. Here's a running play to the far side. Sternberger nowhere to go, and he's going to get dropped for a loss on the play. And now they've got me looking, and here comes a flag.
I feel like every play we've got to sit there and wait a second before we actually say what happened. It's getting to be a little bit frustrating with all this bad football being played.
I think this one's going to go against Kingfisher.
Oh, they had gone so long without being called for a penalty.
So a frustrating game for Kingfisher, who just cannot seemingly get the offense going. They were helped out by a Tuttle penalty that kept this drive alive. But on each play that has counted from scrimmage, I'm not sure that they're not in the negative territory yardage-wise. Well, I'm pretty sure that they are. And now the penalty here is going to be 15 yards back the other way. So this drive actually started at the Kingfisher 41. They got a first down, and now they're looking at 3rd down and very long.
The Yellow Jackets.
Kingfisher really needs something to turn the tables that they can build upon here. Otherwise, Tuttle is going to really take control of this football game. Nobody in the backfield. Sternberger.
I'd imagine they're going to bring the pressure on this one. Oh, only 3.
Looking, throwing, near side. Passes a little high. Tipped incomplete. Well defensed out there by the Tigers, and you can see the Tigers right now are feeling good about what they're doing defensively, and that's going to bring on a punting situation for Kingfisher.
Bring up 4th down.
The ref just made a one-handed catch.
You can bet right now that Coach Brad Ballard, the Tuttle coach, is telling his guys, you're playing fantastic. Just don't get caught up in any of the penalty situation, any of the extracurricular that might go on in the football field. Just keep playing the ball game the way you are.
Well, yeah, and you got to wonder if, since this is technically week 1 here, and obviously it's Tuttle's 2nd game, but Kingfisher's 1st, are the refs maybe just setting a tone? Maybe saying, hey, this is what we're calling this year. This is how it's going to be. If you guys can't play to the rules, you're going to have to deal with these penalties all game long.
Run is down at the Tuttle
So the punt travels to the Tuttle 48-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will put it in play. And there's no doubt about this, that the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets, they need a stop here, or this one is going to be getting away from them. It's starting to roll Tuttle's way right now as they've scored the last 24 points unanswered after Kingfisher took that 7-0 lead early.
And you got to think, like, again, the only score that they've had was from the defensive side of the ball. Maybe their defense can make another big play here, get another big stop, but their True Love just goes right through the defense.
True Love breaking through. Great job by that offensive line all the way down to the Kingfisher 31-yard line. Take a look on that left side of the hole that they created up front.
Yeah, he does a great job of those last second. You think you got him, and then he just jukes out of your way, and now he's going past you. You've got to definitely get on him and wrap him up. And sometimes it takes more than just one person, so they've got to have more than one person get to the ball.
From the Kingfisher 31-yard line, True Love straight ahead, this time maybe a yard, that's it. Good stand by the Kingfisher defense.
Keaton Abercrombie was in there pretty quickly, and it looked like he may have kind of came up limping a little bit. Keaton and Clayton Abercrombie, both brothers that are out in the secondary, both wide receivers for Kingfisher.
Tigers come back to the line of scrimmage. Barry Hill out of the shotgun. True Love off to his left. Takes the snap, rolls right, in trouble. Breaks one tackle, still on his feet. Breaks another tackle, but still going to lose some yardage on the play, about 3 or 4 yards. Barry Hill showing his toughness right there, but unable to elude the Kingfisher defense. And the ball's going to get spotted all the way back at the 35-yard line. That'll bring up third down and about 14.
Well, see, and I think part of the problem on that one was the offensive line. Once the guys got around him, they sat still and they were like, all right, you beat me. You're going to get to my quarterback, and now there's 4 Yellow Jackets around the quarterback, and you've still got an opportunity to block some of them.
Here's the bootleg coming to the near side. Pass is complete, caught by Perryman at about the 29-yard line.
Pass is complete to Perryman. Abercrombie's at the tackle. Ball at the 29-yard line. It'll bring
and
up
if that's the case, that'll get them just back inside the original line of scrimmage. So that would bring up a fourth down. And still long.
Yeah, I was going to say, by the way their kick is going, their kicking game has been, I don't think they're going to kick that.
Need to get to about the 21-yard line. Here's the pass. That's incomplete. And it looks as though Tuttle will turn it over on downs.
Crucial stop for Kingfisher. Now, if they can go down and put some points on the board, they can easily get themselves back into this and say, hey, maybe if they get it before the start of the fourth quarter, they've got the entire fourth quarter, maybe just come up with 2 scores.
So 3:20 left to go here in the third quarter. 24-7, Tuttle on top. And Kingfisher, we said it earlier that they needed to get something going, but now it's a must-have situation that they've got to do something here. Sternberger started off the game so well, but honestly hasn't had a whole lot of time as the Tigers have really been applying some pressure. Now it looks as though somebody jumped on the Kingfisher offensive line. That's going to be another 5-yard penalty against the Jackets.
I wish we had kept a penalty count and just seen how many had not only been this entire game, but against Kingfisher, as Kingfisher just continuously has gotten called for violations on every single spot that they possibly can.
So now 2nd and 15. Sternberger, quick out, pass caught. And Tuttle converges on it. And they're going to keep it to a short gain on the play out to about the 28-yard line.
And you got to think that they are definitely going to air this out with Sternberger, an all-Vipe 3A team member at the quarterback. They're going to have to air this out, not only because they can trust their quarterback, but the time, they got to keep that clock stopping if the ball is going to be incomplete.
Sternberger here completes the pass. That's going to be enough for a first down. That's a big, big play. at this juncture of the ball game. Pass complete there over the middle to Tyler Borelli.
That will be good for a Kingfisher.
Keeps the drive alive, keeps Tuttle's defense on the field and Tuttle's offense off the field. Those are big keys in this final 2:41 of the third quarter.
And a good job of the wide receiver to bring that in, because as he's still bringing that back towards his body, he's getting hit right at that second. That's usually when you see those wide receivers drop the ball, or those runners drop the ball because they don't get it all the way into their body in time.
Sternberger here steps up, throws, tries to put a nice touch on the pass, and well covered out there. Safety over the top had coverage. The cornerback was right there, and the pass goes incomplete.
Well, not bad placement of the ball, if we're being honest. That was not bad placement. Just a tough catch as he's kind of fading out. It looked like he was kind of, leaning towards that sideline a little bit, having to make that catch over the shoulder, as we've talked about before, is a tough catch. And so just the combination of the two wasn't able to make the play.
2nd down and 10 coming up for the Yellow Jackets. Sternberger, jet sweep, trying to get to the near side. Gets by one tackler. Does well to do as much as he did. And that's not going to be a whole lot. He ran a lot, but not able to pick up a whole lot of yards on the play. Once again, a good job by the Tuttle defense to stretch it out.
Well, it seems like Zane Vasquez, Braden Nix, and Dylan Kaufman, the three linebackers that have been making a lot of noise today. They've been doing a great job of not only getting into the backfield and busting up those offensive lines, but also down the field, even right there, chasing down a wide receiver coming across on a jet sweep. Those guys are still in the play.
From the 43-yard line, Sternberger over the middle, finds his receiver. That's going to be good enough for a first down. Did he hold on?
I guess they're
yes,
saying
he did.
Yeah,
he did. Right at the 45-yard line in Tuttle territory.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'd like to see a replay of that one.
And you shall. Sternberger pressured, gets the throw off. Big hit on the play. Number 24 coming up. That's Ethan Paxton.
We'll see. Now, why is that one complete, but the one earlier was incomplete?
That, my friend, you will have to ask the guys with the striped shirts on.
Well, as I sit here in this chair, I am very puzzled, so.
Sternberger back to throw, has to roll out, finds a man, receiver open. He's going to get dumped, but still pick up 9 yards on the play. Pass complete to Colton York, who before the night is over with is probably going to end up with some pretty big numbers.
2nd down.
Minute 2, clock running here in this third quarter. 17-point lead for Tuttle. Running play, Sternberger trying to get to the first down marker. He's going to be very close. There is a flag on the far side that's almost in the Kingfisher sideline over there, about the 29-yard line. Let's see what that's all about.
Yeah, I was going to say, it looked like it might have been a late hit.
So a penalty going to be called against Tuttle. That will further help the Kingfisher charge. That's what I was talking about a little while ago. Coach Ballard, I'm sure, telling his guys, man, play tough, play hard. You're doing a great job. Just stay away from the penalties. And so what was going to be close to the first down, probably had it to begin with. Now he's going to take the ball from the 35 all the way down to the just inside the 20-yard line. So 1st and 10 Kingfisher with 52 seconds left to go here in the third quarter.
I think if I'm Tuttle, I need to keep applying the pressure, because we've seen when they apply pressure, it makes it tough for Sternberger to make a play.
Crosswhite wrapped up in the backfield, nowhere to go. Dropped on the play there.
Another flag.
And Kingfisher this time retreating. This one's going to be against them. Stops the clock again with 38 seconds remaining. Still third quarter action, 24-7. Tuttle on top of Kingfisher. Check some of our scores again as we get a stop in play. Holding penalty is the call against Kingfisher, and they'll spot it at the 32-yard line. 1st and 25. Sternberger finds the receiver open out of the backfield. Coming up with the reception, that's Borelli.
Well, and a good job there by Sternberger to pick apart the zone defense. As you can see, he stepped up in the pocket, kind of moved up towards that line of scrimmage, and the linebackers are looking at him and just able to drop behind him and make a good play there. Is Sternberger. I'm sorry, that's the quarterback, Tyler Borelli.
Kind of one of those little jump passes. Now Sternberger running for his life. Fakes the pass, and this one he's just going to dump. Incomplete.
See, that one I'm not sure who is in the area there.
Not sure either, but a situation like that, they're going to confer about this. Line judge comes over from the far side. Ineligible receiver downfield against Kingfisher.
Update some of the scores. Booker T. Washington 24-14 over Bishop Kelly, and that one is final. We've got some other scores across the state of Oklahoma. Del City is up 47-7 at Bishop McGuinness. Owasso is about to lose to Fayetteville, I think. It is 45-24, and there's about 10 minutes left to play. There's so many interesting scores like that one. I don't think I would have expected that one.
No, and I didn't expect Del City to take McGuinness apart like that either. Pass here complete. That's going to get inside the 10-yard line, be enough for the first down. Reception made there by Trey Green. He's been a little inconspicuous by his absence this evening. Saw a little of him earlier. That's his first reception in a while. That may be the final play of this third quarter. Clock getting down to about 5 seconds left. Kingfisher approaching the football. And they will not get the play away, or apparently they will. It's a running play, and that's going to get them down to about the 5-yard line. And that should be and is the final play of the third quarter. Kingfisher's driving, but they trail Tuttle 24-7.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event, and now is the best time to buy.
You ready for this, Junior?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
No pressure. That's just my favorite boat.
Boom.
Make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, find great offers across a huge lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now get 0% financing for 60 months, plus $32.50 cash back on F-150 at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Tuttle. Tonight, the site of your Oklahoma Ford dealers game of the week. It's game time on YurView. Kingfisher driving, but they trail right now by 17 points with just 12 minutes remaining. They can score here, get it back to a 2-score ball game. Well, then it's still up for grabs. Tuttle has really dominated the second and third quarters to this point. Kingfisher got out to that early lead on the pick 6 to lead at 7-0, but Tuttle has scored the last 24 points in succession. But you can see here that Kingfisher has the ball at the Tuttle 6-yard line.
Well, and Kingfisher's had a hard time putting the ball into pay dirt, and we'll see if here late maybe they can get some scores up on the board. They still have time, they still have a chance, but their time is waning and their chances are slimming. So they've got to do something quick, or else Tuttle will walk away with the win here today.
Both teams back on the field. Line of scrimmage at the 6-yard line. Sternberger, the quarterback. In the backfield with him is Cole Crosswhite. Sternberger looks over the defense. Barks out the signals, tried to get Tuttle to jump offside. Tigers would have none of it. And they'll try it again. Sternberger takes the snap, looks left side, throws the crossing pattern. It's tipped. Incomplete and almost intercepted.
Yeah, great job by Parker Ross there on the coverage. It's just one-on-one man situation on the slant route, and he was able to read it and get into the play. And just great job, because it was enough to knock him off balance and drop the ball.
Braden Nix, the defender that nearly came up with the interception. Now Sternberger, this time out of the backfield, throws to Cross White, who gets inside the 5, buried at about the 4-yard line. They're going to spot it just inside the 4.
At the 4-yard line, be fourth down for the Yellow Jackets.
If Tuttle walks away with the win here today, it is actually the 16th consecutive regular season home win for the Tigers.
Good note there. See what the Yellow Jackets do here. Sternberger going to roll it to the left side, looking for some cutback room, finds it and dives into the end zone and gets in for the TD.
A reverse jam for Sternberger as he fell backwards and held that ball up above his head, and just, that's a prayer right there. You know that one's a prayer when you're just falling backwards and reaching and hoping, and he was able to get it in there. So our first touchdown for Kingfisher's offense. First points on the board for them since the first quarter, with about 6 minutes to go.
So a big touchdown for Sternberger and Kingfisher as they get the score and now try for the extra point to cut it to a 10-point lead. Snap back, ball down, kick on the way. It is up and it is good. Colton York punches it through. We've got 11 minutes, 19 seconds left to go in this ball game. Tuttle still on top. They lead it 24-14 on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week.
It's the final days of the Ford Summer Sales Event. There are only a few days left to take advantage of 0% financing for 72 months, plus an extra $1,000 cash back across a great lineup of Ford SUVs. So hurry and save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand.
During the final days, get 0 for 72, plus 1,000 bonus cash on Escape, Explorer, and Edge. Hurry, offer ends September 4th at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Tuttle. We got ourselves a ball game, as we expected before the contest this evening. Here's a look at the sidelines there, the Tuttle sidelines. And now it's just a 10-point differential as Kingfisher scores in the opening minute of the fourth quarter, and now it's a 24-14 lead for the Tigers. And let's see how the rest of this game plays out. We hoped it would be a good one for everybody out there watching, and it certainly has proven to be that way. Kingfisher early. They own the first quarter. Tuttle owned the second and the third. Kingfisher has put points on the board here on the first drive of this fourth quarter of play, and they're about to kick it away to the Tigers. Straight ahead kick, taken at about the 19-yard line. Return out, or the 29-yard line, returned out to about the 32-yard line, and that's where the Tigers will put it in play, 1st and 10 with 11:13 left to play.
Well, and the good news about the Tuttle Tigers is although they gave up that score there, their offense has been doing a great job tonight, whether it be through the run game with True Love or through the air with Berryhill. Their offense has been very productive and done a great job of gaining positive yardage on a consistent basis. And so we'll see if they can continue that same success here with about 11 minutes to go.
Little counter play, running it to the left side, going to pick up about 2 yards. Young man who's had a big second half, especially Mr. Truelove. And now you begin to become a clock watcher as well. As you can see, just under 11 minutes left to go in the contest. Tuttle with a 10-point lead. Berryhill gives to Truelove, who fights forward across the 40 to, well, they're going to say just barely across the 40-yard line.
I still think it's odd that Truelove is having such a great game this week, and last week only got 5 carries.
Might have been an injury situation or something that I didn't hear about, perhaps.
That's true.
But But either way, yeah, he's been a big factor in this ball game here tonight. 3rd down for the Tigers.
Ooh.
Sternberger there getting it out across the 40 to about the 44-yard line.
Berryhill just ran right over Snodgrass there. That's when you put your shoulder down and you go through him. And that's a quarterback doing that. We mentioned earlier he's pretty big, built quarterback. Not the easiest to bring down.
So that brings up 4th down and 3 from their own 44-yard line. The punter is into the contest. Snap is back. Gets the kick away. Taking it about the 13-yard line. On the return, pushed backwards. And he's going to get out to about the 21-yard line. And that's where Kingfisher will start 1st and 10. Tuttle didn't do much to take any time off the clock. Still 9:13 to play.
Well, a good job there by the return man, number 2, Cole Battles. No, that's on Tuttle. Excuse me, Zach Goodwin. Zach Goodwin did a good job. I mean, obviously he was knocked backwards to start, but able to still make something out of it. And at the end of the day, that's the best you can ask for when you're knocked backwards to start off, is just at least get some positive out of it. And that's what he did there.
So line of scrimmage, their own 23-yard line with 9:13 left to go in the ball game. Every possession crucial now.
Well, and Kingfisher's offense was held scoreless until there was about 11 minutes left in the game. And so you got to think Tuttle's defense maybe even get a spark plug here after that last possession.
Sternberger.
There's the final.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I still can't find a receiver in the area. He tried to just dump it off because he knew he was going to lose yardage on the play. And that's going to be a grounding call, which not only brings with it a penalty, but also loss of down.
Oh, looked like a bounce pass. Just kind of threw that one down at the dirt.
Intentional grounding.
I don't want you take it.
That will be loss of down penalty.
So, line of scrimmage originally was the 23-yard line. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, but also a loss of down. So now 2nd and 15 from the 18.
Well, Kingfisher again can't stay away from those penalties, and still digging themselves further and further into the dirt, and they're gonna have to see if they can get out of it.
Sternberger in the crossing pattern. He had 2 wide receivers in the same area. Got to think one of them was running the wrong route there.
Well, not only that, but again, just slightly overthrown. I mean, he's just that close every time on those big throws. Those ones that can go for maybe 15 plus. He's always just slightly off on it, and it's got to be frustrating for him as a quarterback to say, you know what, I've been this close this many times. I can't seem to get it.
He really has. Checks the sidelines now. 3rd and 15 coming up from their own 18-yard line. Just over 9 minutes left to go in the ball game. Handoff, try to catch him asleep. Run the football up the middle. He's going to get to about the 20, but that's it. Only a 2-yard gain on the play, and seemingly a punting situation.
Crosslight with carry. That'll bring up 4th down.
Kingfisher hurries their punting unit onto the field. Line of scrimmage right at the 20-yard line. Snap is back in fine shape. Kick is away. It's going to bounce near midfield and going to stop dead at the 48-yard line in Kingfisher territory. So good field position for Tuttle.
Ball will be marked at the Kingfisher's 48-yard line.
And Kingfisher's defense is really going to have to play tough now on this drive especially, but throughout the rest of the contest as well. Tuttle leading it by 10 with 8:18 to play.
Well, we'll see Tuttle probably run a lot of the clock, as much as they can at least. Last time out, kind of the same concept, but wasn't able to run much time off the clock, maybe less than 2 minutes, and we'll see if they can do any better here, as Kingfisher will probably be bringing a little blitz or any kind of run defense they can run.
True Love with the running play straight up the middle. Maybe got a yard. Good job of the Kingfisher defense up front. Take a look at some of those big guys in there. Number 55 in on the tackle. That would be Declan Haub. Number 73 in there, also Tanner Thompson for Kingfisher. 2nd down and 9. Berryhill, quick out. Had it been complete, would have only gained a yard, but as it is, big hit defensively. Stops the clock more importantly. And a 3rd down and 9 coming up for Tuttle. Tigers to the line of scrimmage. There you can see True Love, number 28, in the backfield. In front of him, Carson Berryhill. Takes the snap. Berryhill keeps it, slides through somehow, picks up about 2 yards on the play, but that was nearly a loss of 7 or 8.
And I think that was just a good reaction by Carson Berryhill. It seemed like that was actually supposed to be a run play, and he just saw at the last second like, okay, I can't give him the ball, and pulled it out of there and tried to create something. Was able to get a few yards, but obviously with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Kingfisher Yellow Jackets in the area, it's going to be tough to create something positive.
So 4th and 8 coming up for Tuttle. Big factor now is that number on the right-hand side, the game clock, as it goes under 7 minutes to play. And a penalty called against Tuttle.
I wonder if they just took the delay of game.
That very well could be. Maybe not a bad play, especially given where they are on the field. Clock stops with 6:54 left to play. And Tuttle set to punt it away. Low snap, no rush. Kick is away. Taken but dropped at about the 15-yard line, and he's going to get drugged down inside the 15. Great coverage by Tuttle. It looks like they're going to spot the ball at about the 5-yard line.
And you got to catch that. I mean, he had all day and obviously probably thought about where he was going to run with it and what he was going to do. And Tuttle's defense coming down back towards him before he caught the ball and was thinking too much instead of just settling down and grabbing the ball and then going with it.
It was 3 and out last time for Kingfisher. The time before that, they were able to get into the end zone for the touchdown to make it 24-14. But now time is an issue. 6:51 left to go here in the ball game. Here's a look at the Tiger sidelines. Standing room only as expected here at Tuttle. And a whistle. And we've got an infraction of some sort.
Delay against Yellow Jackets.
Half the distance to the goal. Now they're about the 2.5, making it even harder on themselves to get out of this hole. About 6:50 to go. They've got to go about the length of the field here.
So make it 1st and about 12. Sternberger keeps it. He's going to get maybe a yard.
Sternberger keeps it.
And that's it. Tuttle defense, again, has been so tough all night long. As you mentioned, there's been a couple passing plays that Sternberger and his receivers just couldn't quite hook up on.
Yeah, and I mentioned as the key of the game would be the defensive backs, but if I'm being honest, I don't think they've done anything too spectacular. I think it's just been some off-target throws from Sternberger. With that, coupled with the penalties, coupled with the pass rush, it's just created a problem for the Yellow Jackets, and it looks like, what are they going to call?
He's standing in the end zone, and it is a safety. The referee is back there. He was tackled in the end zone, but reached the ball across the end line. Usually it's going the other way. Yeah, but the referee, he signaled safety as you take a look once again. Great penetration there by number 36, Grant Polson.
Yeah, I think he was down before he extended that arm anyway.
I think he was. You can see the official at the top right of your screen. He's in the end zone. It will be a safety. That makes it now 26-14 in favor of Tuttle. So they get 2 points added to their score, and they're about to get the football back with 6:11 to play.
That's just another plus for Tuttle. And now they again go back to the game plan of just run the football and just see if they can take some time off the clock. The refs are conferring about something, though, and Tuttle's defense is still out there.
Well, the referee signaled safety. And they're retreating off the field. They're picking up the flag. It is a safety. 2 points for the Tuttle Tigers, and then personal foul called against Kingfisher.
I think it's just a personal foul, so I think they're going to move the spot of maybe the punt. Maybe move the punt back a little bit so that way when Tuttle gets the ball.
Yeah, that's where they were placing it, about what, the 10-yard line?
Yeah.
So normally they would kick it from the 20. So now Kingfisher has to kick it away from their own 10-yard line. 6:11 left to go. Coaches talking to the kids on the sidelines. You can see the band in the background. They're enjoying what they've watched here this evening.
Well, and it's the joy of Friday Night Lights. You know, all the students turn out and they want to see the home team pull out a win. And again, this is now probably, I'm going to go ahead and put it out there and say probably be 16 straight wins for Tuttle at home in the regular season. And so they've done a great job over the past few years of picking up wins, piling up wins. Still falling short of that state championship goal, though. But obviously they're not too far off, as in the past few years they've really been just right outside the door, just knocking on it, and not too far away. 23 straight seasons with a winning record. So you got to imagine eventually Tuttle will come home with the crown. And it's just going to happen soon enough.
Kingfisher kicks it away. High kick. Kingfisher says that they have it.
Well, they do.
And I'm not too sure if Tuttle understood whether or not that they had to cover that kick or they could let it go as though it were a punt. And maybe the last second confusion, they reached in to try to get it, unsure of exactly what they were trying to do. But it looks as though Kingfisher's going to get the football.
Yeah, obviously I think they were just thinking punt. And so punt, when it bounces back your direction, okay, just let it bounce. You know? And it was actually a kickoff, goes by kickoff rules. So it's going to be Kingfisher football.
Interesting turn of events. So the Yellow Jackets actually pick up yardage on a kickoff. How does that happen? 6:09 left to go. Jackets with the ball. They've got a new life. Again, Sternberger is hit, and he is clocked.
He was laid out there.
I'm expecting to see a flag, and he has to be helped to his feet. He was waylaid. And he doesn't know where he is. He is walking all kinds of sideways, and they need to get him out of the ball game.
Yeah.
I caught it at the very end, and he let that ball go. He was absolutely defenseless, and he got run over. Take a look once again. As he's going to get rid of the ball and then watch from where this
Kaufman
comes.
On the hit. Yeah, he got clocked.
There is a flag on the field now. Not sure what that is. You could say maybe helmet to helmet. There were some changes in the rules here. Watch as we get right down to it. And there's definitely a helmet to the face guard. I mean, there's no question about that. And you can see him. He can barely even walk. He's being assisted off the field. You got to think he is done for the night.
For sure. Yeah, that's a tough loss for Kingfisher. Sternberger is such a great quarterback. Had last over his career, he's averaged 140.5 yards a game. And so taking him out of the equation, you got to wonder if Kingfisher's going to be able to clean this mess up at all, or what's going to happen.
Looks as though they've ejected the player from the game, too, is what the thumbs out sign is to me.
That's Kaufman, I believe, for Tuttle. I believe he was the one that made the big hit there. And I mentioned earlier that Kaufman and a couple of the other linebackers have been doing a great job all night long of getting pressure, and not only that, but stopping the running back when he tries to get past the offensive line. But right there, just a little bit too ambitious, a little bit too aggressive, and ends up getting himself in trouble.
And if I'm not mistaken, because he was kicked out of the game, more than likely means he's suspended for the next game. So, a strange turn of events. Kingfisher, after giving up a safety, kicked the ball away to Tuttle. Seemingly, Tuttle thought it was a punt type situation and didn't cover the ball. Kingfisher did recover it. Although the line of scrimmage, I don't know if they gave him the necessary yardage from the play before. After the big hit on the out of bounds.
I think he moved him backwards. There must have been another penalty somewhere against Kingfisher. I'm about as puzzled as it gets right now.
Well, you're no more puzzled than I am. I mean, it was definitely a late hit out of bounds. I mean, they kicked the guy out of the game. Nobody from Kingfisher seems too alarmed about it, and we trek on. Third down, backup quarterback obviously into the game now for Kingfisher.
It's Cade Stevenson. See him usually as wide out, and you'd think, obviously with a smaller school, not going to have the depth some teams would at bigger schools with quarterbacks. So they're probably just going to bring somebody in who knows the route tree, and that being a wide receiver. Whoever can throw the ball best out of the wideouts is going to be the backup quarterback.
Good point. So 4:50 left to play now. And Kingfisher in a punting situation. What a bizarre game this has turned out to be. Snap is back right at the goal line. Punt is away.
This one you can let bounce.
And they do. And it rolls out to about the 45-yard line, and that's where Tuttle will get it with 4:30 left to play in the ball game.
45-yard line, another flag down.
And then first and foremost, you always talk about big hits, but you certainly hope that Sternberger is going to be okay, because he definitely did not have control of all of his faculties out there as he was leaving the field assisted. Here's the play once again.
Yeah, and this is why they say never to lead with the crown of your helmet. And here you can see he kind of just puts that head down and hits him, and that's part of the new NFL helmet rule, you know, where you can't put your head down and lead with the crown. And right there he did, and so forth he got ejected. Free yardage again. I don't understand what is going on. These refs are handing out yardage like it's the Oprah Winfrey show.
So the ball is all the way back to the 40-yard line. And that was a punt. There was no return even. And so we'll move forward. 4.5 minutes left to play. Berryhill, the quarterback for Tuttle, takes the snap, running play up the middle. Going to pick up about 4 yards on the carry. That was True Love once again. As you mentioned, he's been very busy tonight.
44-yard line.
And Tuttle in no hurry to move along at any type of rapid speed right now. They have a 12-point lead with just under 4 minutes left to go in the contest as the clock gets under the 4-minute mark.
I'm going to take a stab at it that he's probably quadrupled his carries from the last game. There's no way he doesn't have 20 carries tonight. And he's been doing a great job all night long.
This time he's stacked up in the backfield. Kingfisher doing all that they can to keep the game close, but it was that big run of points for the Yellow Jackets that had them leading 18-7 at halftime. They got another touchdown to make it 24-7, and then a safety after Kingfisher finally did score. That's why we stand right now at 26-14 in favor of the Tigers. Berryhill, True Love again, just protecting the football. Taking nearly another full minute off the clock.
Clanton with the tackle.
As now we go into the 3-minute mark left to play.
Be 4th and 11.
So Tuttle, who won last week in their game against Newcastle, 41-7. Looking as though they're about to take down the Kingfisher Yellow Jackets. Tuttle admittedly in Class 4A, Kingfisher in 3A. Looks like they're going to let that tick all the way down till the clock runs out. They'll take that 5-yard penalty once again. Switch out the 2 units, stops the clock with 2 minutes 30 seconds left to go in our ball game.
Well, and I know you never want to wave the white flag, but I have fingers crossed that Kingfisher will just run the football for the last 2 minutes because there's no way that they're going to be able to climb back into this down 12 with 2.5 to go. Backup quarterback in the game, unless this gets all the way down there. But no, I mean, it's going to be a tall task to get back into this one.
And flags are flying on the far side once again. Colt Crosswhite on the return. This one's gotten a little bit ugly.
Yeah, Camden Perryman coming out showing his hand saying, I didn't do anything.
And now another flag. So as they gather up their laundry, let's see what kind of information the referee is prepared to provide to us. Jeff Myers there talking with the head linesman. Referee says, okay, well, let me see what's going on over here. Brad Ballard and his staff looking on. Right now, unnecessary roughness is the call against Kingfisher. Right now you got to think both teams just want to get out of here. Kingfisher's lost their quarterback. I'm no expert on concussive type injuries, but you got to think that in order for him to get through concussion protocol, again, just entirely guessing, that it might be more than, you know, just the rest of this game, and maybe even more like next week as well.
Yeah, and I mean that's a painful situation to watch, and obviously we hope for the best, and we don't want anybody to be put into a situation where they're not only hurt but hurt and out for weeks and weeks. So we hope for the best, but at the same time, the realistic side of it, that play looked like when he got up, when Sternberger got up, definitely didn't look pretty. And so we'll see over time how long it'll take for him to get back into the mix. But for now, I guess all we can say really is we hope for the best, and you know, our prayers are with him.
Still sorting it out between the referee and both the coaches as they explain it to one, then they must explain it to the other. 2:19 is left to go on the game clock.
Illegal substitution.
And Tuttle retreating towards the sidelines once again. They're marking off a penalty against Kingfisher.
Then we've got a dead ball personal foul against Kingfisher.
Is that a second penalty? So
is there another one?
You had a roughing penalty.
That will be a...
I thought he was getting ready to call another one too, because he looked over here towards the.
Well, it seemed like he walked more than 15 yards too.
Well,
he just has long strides.
Yeah. He's got some stilts on underneath.
So it's a first down for the Tigers. The line of scrimmage is going to be the 46-yard line in Kingfisher territory. They're still explaining it to, I believe that's Coach Myers out there for Kingfisher. They got any updates on any scores?
That's a good idea. Let's see. Let's see what we can find.
Since we don't have any action here going on, imagine a lot of those are probably final by now. And finally they break it up and we come to the line of scrimmage. So Tuttle has the football. First and 10 it looks like. Running play, going to be a handoff straight ahead. Somebody lost their helmet. So that player will have to come off unless it was just intentionally ripped off. It came off of the young running back, Tristan Truelove. So he'll head to the sidelines. Picked up about 4 on the carry.
Couple of them. Edmond Santa Fe 31-7 over Edmond North with 2 minutes left to play. And then going back to the Moore game that you had mentioned earlier, Westmore has 35, Moore has 6. And that one is just wrapping up the third quarter.
All right. Running play here gets inside the 40-yard line down to the 39. And the Tigers looking as though they're going to hold on and keep the victory here tonight. Get their second win of the season, so you know they've got a bye coming up here in the next couple of weeks, having already played in 0 week and in week 1. Berryhill takes the snap, gives to Truelove. Hit at the line of scrimmage and then driven back. Maybe lost a yard on the play. That'll bring up 4th down, and you can bet that they're going to let the clock run all the way down on this one as well. Probably get us down to around
Hold on, what's going on with this spot? Okay, the ref up at the top had it at the 38, and this ref put it almost at the 40. And he's still standing up there around the 38, 39, and the ball's still near the 40. I mean, I'm no referee, but
yeah, it's. I guess you should go by the down marker.
Well, even that was back at the 38.
Well, there was a penalty, that's why. That's all I can guess. 10 seconds left to go on the clock as they did let it run all the way down. That was the delay of game penalty against Tuttle. And so they take the 5-yard penalty. They will kick it away. Kingfisher might have one play from scrimmage, but it's not going to affect the outcome of the game, one would not think. The punt is away. It goes into the end zone. The clock is stopped with just about 5 seconds left, and that will allow Kingfisher one final play in this contest here. The Tuttle is going to apparently hold on and win by a final score of 26-14.
So with that, Tuttle moves to 2-0. Mentioned the 16 consecutive wins at home during the regular season, and on their way to maybe a 24th straight season with a winning record.
Of course, when you think everybody knows Tuttle as being a very good football team, but most people know Tuttle as the wrestling dynamo that is. They have won 10 straight wrestling championships, 9 straight dual wrestling championships. They've also won 4 straight cheerleading championships, and they've become a powerhouse in softball and baseball as well. As the horn sounds, apparently ending the game, unless there was just maybe a fraction of a second still remaining. Players are staying on the field. They say 3 seconds still left. Clock continued to run after he went out of bounds, but they'll reset it. And so one more play coming up
Second down.
for
second
Kingfisher.
How much do you want to bet Kingfisher gets called for a flag here on this play?
I'm just going to pretend like you never even said that, and this one's going to end. And that will do it. So, final running play taken there by Stone Snodgrass, and that will do it. It's over. Tuttle Tigers move to 2-0 in the season as they get the victory tonight, defeating Kingfisher. Our final score on your Oklahoma Ford Dealers Game of the Week, 26-14. We'll come back after a timeout and wrap it up for you right after this.
It's the Ford Summer Sales Event, and now is the best time to buy.
You ready for this, Junior?
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
No pressure. That's just my favorite boat.
Boom.
Make summer go right with Ford, America's best-selling brand. During the Ford Summer Sales Event, find great offers across a huge lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Now get 0% financing for 60 months plus $3,250 cash back on F-150 at your Oklahoma Ford dealer.
Good morning, Bella.
Good morning.
Are you ready?
Yeah. 5 little monkeys.
Yay, Bella!
Hold still. Almost done.
Oh, Bella, I really love playing with you.
Thanks, Grandma. I really like our visits.
Whatever tech tomorrow dreams up, you'll be ready with GigaBlast. Future speed internet is here from Cox.
Tulsa Tech's our primary source of training. From specialized machining to leadership training, there's definitely a technology gap between the actual working of the machines and the talent pool of people able to operate these machines. The more that we can educate ourselves, our employees, the better off that we are to serve our customers. Tulsa Tech has programs for your whole organization to learn. No matter what size your company is, Tulsa Tech can help.
No one thinks about their water heater until it fails. At that point, you have a huge mess on your hands with water damage everywhere.
A planned water heater replacement can save you a lot of trouble.
Right now, you can save big on a new high-efficiency water heater.
Call Airco Service,
the company you know.
Weoki's new money certificate rates are incredible. Transfer money from another institution to a Weoki 35-month certificate and receive 3.05 APY. Yes, that's over 3%. And get a $100 cash bonus for new CD amounts of $100,000 and greater. Open your certificate with new money at Weoki and start earning incredible rates. Federally insured, rate and bonus are for new money only. Other terms and limitations apply. Contact Weoki for details.
And welcome back once again. Our final score here. The Tuttle Tigers come out on top as they get the win over Kingfisher tonight. And there you see our final score, 26-14. The Kingfisher Yellow Jackets got on the board first as they were able to get the interception by Riley Myers, take it into the end zone to take the early 7-0 lead. And then Tuttle went on a run of their own. They had a couple of short TD runs, but they also had the big long touchdown pass from Carson Berryhill as he was able to hook up with Kobe Trevino. And then after that, it was more of the Tuttle defense. Both teams were able to put another touchdown or two on the board, but in the end, Tuttle was just too much for Kingfisher here tonight as they get the victory by a final score of 26-14. Dylan?
Well, in pregame, I said that the keys of the game was going to be the defensive backs, the safeties, the cornerbacks. Those guys were going to decide the game because both of these teams like to air the ball out. And I wasn't wrong in the fact that they like to air the ball out, but I was wrong in the fact that the keys actually came from the defensive line and the linebackers. Those guys were putting pressure on the quarterback all game long, and that was for both teams. There were times where Berryhill was having to scramble out and try to make some kind of a play with just the scraps that he was given, or times where Sternberger was handed a bad deck of cards and had to just try to make something out of it, and it came down to it, and Tuttle's offense just outplayed Kingfisher's offense, and with that in mind, Tuttle walks away with the win. In 26-14, 1 touchdown for Kingfisher on the defensive side, 1 on the offensive side, and then Tuttle, just their offense was dominant over Kingfisher's defense.
All right, so that's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. Once again, our final score, Tuttle takes it over Kingfisher by a score of 26-14. Don't forget to join us next week. Friday, we will be at Noble. It'll be Ada and Noble, as we got the Cougars and the Bears teaming up next week here on YurView.com. It's game time, and it's brought to you by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. For Mark Jeffries, for Dylan Rivera, I'm Steve Marshall. We'll see you next week, everybody. So long.